Welcome everybody to MogTalk episode 209. Today is November 21st, 2020. You might notice my camera is really weird. I might try to fix it during the show, but unfortunately it was causing some issues pre-show, and I wanted to not leave you guys wondering if we're going to do the show or not. So we're going forward with it. If you guys are unfamiliar with MogTalk, it's a show based around the Final Fantasy XIV community discussing everything from Savage Raiding to Chocobo Racing. Today's topic is going to be about Party Finder and going into 5.4 and maybe what we can do to make it a little bit better. Before we get into it, though, I do want to introduce all of our guests who are very, very familiar with Party Finder and many different data centers, or at least the NAJP. Maybe not EU so much here, so sorry about that. But that being said, let me go clockwise here. I'll start with Xeno. Xeno, tell everybody who you are.
Hello, I'm Xeno. Zemo. I stream this game sometimes, man. And yeah, we have a good time.
Nice. All right. Arthars.
Hello, I'm Arthars. Xeno streams sometimes. I barely stream 14 at all because apparently everybody think I quit the game.
Oh,
yeah. I'll be back in 5.4. Yeah.
Okay.
What up?
And then last but not least, Bok Choy.
Hey guys, I'm Bok Choy. I actually did quit the game. So if you haven't seen me in Party Finder, that's probably why. But these guys over here actually brought me out of retirement, and I'm playing again. And yeah, here I am.
There you go. All right, and I'm Frosty, and sometimes I do podcasts, and I log into the game sometimes. I'm gonna be honest. You guys, I think most people have semi-quit the game over the last 6 months. In a way, like, I mean, it still exists. The sub might still be rolling and everything else, but the content's been a little bit dry for people who do a lot of Party Finder rating and stuff. So that's completely understandable. When we came back for MogTalk and we did episode 200, we had a discussion with our good friends Xeno and Arthas about Party Finder, and it seemed like that conversation needed to continue, and we ran out of time. So we decided to have a separate episode and bring on somebody who might be able to level out the metal that comes from Xeno and Arthas. So we brought Bach on as well to discuss Party Finder, the problems that have Party Finder has brought to all of us, and what we can do maybe to make it not so bad going into the next patch. So first off, why do we think there's issues with Party Finder? Why would we even have a show talking about Party Finder? Do you guys?
Party Finder is perfect, man.
Okay,
it's perfect, dude.
It's perfect.
It's perfect, dude. It's the fucking best source of content this game has, man. The best source.
Yeah, no, you guys make all. Actually, how much Party Finder would you say comprises your streams?
The last
a shit ton. Yeah.
Ooh, the last 7 months, 80%.
80%? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, back when I streamed, that was like main source of content.
Yeah.
So, when you were doing streaming, and what makes Party Finder so entertaining, I guess? Is it like just the mystery of what's going to happen inside each Party Finder?
Yeah, you get something different every time, man. You get like really good players, you get really bad. Okay, sometimes you get really good players. Most of the time you get like, just average players, man. It's people trying to clear. Sometimes you get really bad players, and it's fun. It's just like, it's different every time. Yeah, you never know. You just never know what you're going to die to, if you're going to clear, especially first clears. Those are always hype, and then sometimes you get like impatient people.
Yeah.
You wipe like one or two times, and then you see that light party. Ooh, you hate to see that light party. Oh, hate to see it, man.
Xeno has taken over the stream.
Yes.
Have I taken over?
Xeno is the host now.
Let's go. Not just leave it there, dude. I didn't even see. I don't have the stream
I'm back. All right.
No. As soon as Bob disconnects, it reorganizes where all the cameras are, and you were like where I was, and then I was where Bob was.
All right, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Fuck, man, I didn't have my Discord up over the video player of the stream, so I didn't see it.
It was good, man. It was good. All right. So yeah, I mean, Party Finder. that's why. What you think if Party Finder was actually everyone was pretty good and you went in there and it wasn't a lot of friction going through it? Would it be good streaming content? Do we really want this to go away? Do we?
I think it still would be. It just wouldn't be as good.
Okay.
Because like people like to see the struggle. Yeah. People like to see the struggle in the first clears. Because let me tell you this: nobody fucking gives a shit about your static. Nobody gives a shit. Like, oh, I'm raiding with the static. I don't fucking care. I don't fucking care. It's going to be boring. You're not going to pay attention to me. You know, I'm chat. I'm needy. I need the streamer's attention 100% of the fucking time. I need you to be mad. I need you to yell. You're not going to do that, you know, because the players are good, you know, and all that shit. Nobody fucking watches my static stream.
Basically, nobody watches reality TV to watch people act like normal human beings.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right? So why would... Yeah, exactly.
Okay, that's fair.
Yeah, so
a lot of people don't understand. A lot of people think that we are struggling. The struggle, maybe you say we are masochist. The struggle is what makes it so fun. If we want to do things organized, we have time for that. But not every day. Even if you really want to do things with your static, you gotta understand. The reason why you want to form a static in the first place, you want to get things done quick, you want to get things done organized, so that you don't have to do so much every day. Which fucking static in the right mind wants to raid? Okay, aside from prop, wants to do 7 days a day content? No, right? Like me, Xeno, if you count Bog before he stopped, and he might be starting again in 5.4. When we start together, right, even though the three of us are static, to be honest, it's quite unrealistic that aside from the three of us, we want the other 5 people to be on every day and do. And to be honest, streaming static stuff, aside from prop, sometimes is a little bit boring to watch because it's very one-dimensional. Whereas when you do it parts, first, the viewers can get in. Second, the viewers can relate. Because not every viewers plays like us, finding organized player and try to min-max stuff. So when the viewers see some other parks play, even though they are not in it, they can kind of relate. Yeah, I've seen that before. Hey, I was also experiencing. Hey, I remember that person. They are not as good. Good luck, Arthars. Good luck, Xeno, clearing the guy. And then when you clear it, they are like, huh. You know, like things like that is what makes it fun. Like when we go into PF, we really don't care about efficiency. We don't care about how good you are. We don't care about whether your static is like, oh, I'm in this static that inserts here achievement. We don't give a shit. We go in, we have a good time. Some people get their first clear. It's really high. Trust me. Getting park clear, the worse they do, and then when they get their clear, the more things we get to say. Now we look at it as a streaming standpoint. We have time for static stuff, but when it comes to PF, it's a lot of fun. I never have so much fun. That's why I keep saying this is like the 4th time I say this already. I never have so much fun. It actually surprised me, actually proven me wrong. You know, when I was in JP, coming to NA since last April, I have the most fun playing Final Fantasy. And that is in NAPF. Because you never know what you get. When I play on JPPF, it is boring as fuck. We'll be doing the same strat for like 6 months. It's boring as fuck. My JP static, boring as fuck. If you go to my YouTube channel, you look at how we clear T, you look at how we clear UCOP, you look at how we do U. Dude, 4 years later, I'm still using the same strat. I'm fucking really sick of it already. I'm still doing it, you know? So coming to NA, playing with different static, you know, play with Nova and Xeno, play with Xeno in this current static, trying different things. The PF, for me, is a lot of fun. I never had so much fun streaming Final Fantasy 14. Real talk.
Well, some people take so like when you go into the Party Finder, man, and you're streaming shit and you're wiping and it's miserable. Like to us, that's not miserable. Like when we get mad and shit, we're not actually getting mad. It's just for humor, you know. It's like because we just say what everybody's thinking. You know, when you got the same person that dies to the same mechanic over and over and over and over again, it's like, yo, does this guy have a brain? He's a fucking idiot. Like, what the fuck? But we're not actually mad. Like we're actually, yes, keep doing that because it's funny. and then when you die, it's funny. You know, when you're like so mad at this person, and then you're talking all this shit, and then you die. Then you
got the exact same thing.
You gotta shut up. You can't. That's the rule. You can't talk any more shit until someone else fucks up. It's like, yes, finally someone else fucked up. Now I can shit on him again. Yes. So that's good. So like when you're like running with your static, you know, and it's the same thing over and over. Like it's fun, but in a different way. It's not the kind of fun you can do every single fucking day. But Party Finder, since it's random, like all the time, it's much more. I guess like like replay value, if you will. Like there's a lot more like replay value. So like when like people like mess up and shit in Party Finder, and we're like, oh my God, what the fuck is this person doing? You know, we're not like, we don't take any of that shit personal. We don't take any of that shit off stream and stuff, you know? And I mean, people laugh. And when we fuck up, the same shit happens. Twitch chats, they're throwing keck W's. You know, you can't even look at the Twitch chat. You're just like, man, I can't even look at this right now. I know there's gonna be yeah, there's I can't even look because I know there's gonna be lulz, keck W, concern froge. I can't even. Oh God, I was right. Oh, you know, it's it's funny, man. So you know, if you can't laugh at yourself, you know.
Okay, hold on. Let me play devil's advocate here.
Okay.
Because I think the perspective that you guys have is the perspective of someone with a lot of experience, first of all, someone who has a static to run with. So you reap all the benefits of having a static, and you're also a streamer. So your I guess your goal when you're looking for Party Finder content is to have fun, have something to talk about in your stream, and basically create content. But for the average Party Finder person, they're just looking to clear, right? They just want to clear, and they want consistency, right? And using the same strat over and over and over and over and over might be boring to someone like Arthars, right? But for someone who just wants to clear the damn fight, right? They want that consistency. They said they want to be like, the strat that I've been using the last 4 parties I was in, I want that for my 5th party too, so I can apply everything that I've learned, and that's their perspective, right? So to us it's boring, but to them that's what they need, right?
So here's the thing.
Wait. It's very okay. It's very different though. Even though NA have a fixed way of doing it, they have 10,000 way to do that one way. You know what I mean? NAs can negotiate. When they go in and you put a marker, that's where the negotiation begins. Where you want to stand, who claims which spot, who do the front for Titan, uplift, like first come first up. You know, fucking Xeno, right? You go in the PF with Xeno. Xeno would already stand and put a marker. You know what I mean? Like those are fun. Whereas in JP, you don't. In JP, you just macro and you just stick to it. You already knew where you have to go already. Now, that consistent, I get it. Like Box says, I totally agree. Some people wants to go in and do that. That's fine. That's fine. I'm not complaining it. I'm just saying that I still stream back then, right? Even when I'm JP, I'm still settling with their macro, right? It's totally fine. What I'm saying from my point of view is, man, they still fuck up. We still have things to talk about, but I can't do it every day, man. Whereas in NA, it's a lot better. I'm not saying that I'm taking pleasure based on, because you know you guys like to change strat midway or change position midway or argue about position. I'm not taking pleasure of that, but mainly because the experience is different. Let me ask Xeno and Bog a question here. When you guys go to PF, right? When you join a group, right? When that group one shot, right? It's fucking boring, right?
Horrible.
Right?
Miserable. Horrible. But it's good for them.
Yeah,
I'm happy for them.
Same.
But for me, it's like, fuck, dude. Now I gotta join another one.
Party, another one.
Fuck, man.
So I will give you my perspective. Like I haven't been streaming a lot of my rating and everything else, but I don't have a static. So Party Finder was my progression. So that's my perspective, right? I have Party Finder as progression. So if I go in one shot, I'm like, fuck, I can go like eat dinner and stuff tonight. I can go do other things, you know? It's like I can do some other stuff. So I understand that whole perspective completely. But I will say, from a streamer perspective, and people are always kind of nervous about joining the group. If you're bad, people might be like, oh man, this person, I'm going to relate him to bad on this stream. But I can't imagine a single person remembers that name past that stream, unless if it's like a repetitive, like constant thing. No one remembers you or anything, and you're providing good stream content. That's why when I join Arthars' group, I'm like, fuck, but I know he doesn't care, because he's like, yeah, I got like 5 hours of content, you know? So it's like, it's perfectly fine.
No. First thing first. I wanna tell you, we give our best.
I know, yeah.
Now we are also human. We also make mistakes. But at the same time, like Xeno said earlier in the stream, you guys have to understand, because we care, because we give in our best, even though as funny as we say, you know, we hope it's a trap. We don't really hope it's a trap. But when it's trappy, at least we turn that seriousness into some sort of humorous frustration, so that rather than like we actually have something to talk about, and at the same time, it is exactly because we care. It is exactly because we try our best, and we expect you to also do the same. And then when you keep making mistakes, is what quote unquote triggers. Now, Zeno said it earlier. I want to reinforce that we don't fucking hate you just because you make mistake. We voice it out because it's a natural thing to do. Just think about it this way. Imagine me and you are not streaming, I am, and you got nobody watching you. So somebody makes Arthars make 10 mistakes in a row. God damn it. Now, if I'm streaming and you make 10 mistakes in a row, what do you expect me to do?
So I agree with you completely, and I will relate this to me playing like Mario Kart with my wife or something. Like, so if I'm playing a game and we're like versus each other, at the end I'm like, yeah, fuck you, like I'm just like going crazy, right? And she hates it. But for me, I don't mean those horrible things. I just love being like super into it and just being like kind of competitive, and I overreact. No one's watching me stream. I'm just playing a video game with my wife. But I try to have fun with it. I think that's what a lot of people do when they play video games, like with their friends. When we played GoldenEye back in the day, and like we did all those other things, right? You kind of like had that little competitive kind of an atmosphere where you're just having fun with it. No one gives a shit, but it's just fun to kind of voice those things out and react that way. And then my wife wins, and she's like, "Yeah, shut the fuck up." And that's usually how that goes. By the way,
I want to make it very clear though. We don't do this to make fun of you. We don't do this because we are using you for content. We treat it as a content, but we are serious about it. And because of how serious we are, things don't go our way. We get frustrated. I'm short-tempered. I think it's not a secret, right? So obviously I get frustrated. I mean, I get frustrated at my wife as well, right? I get frustrated at my kids as well. I get frustrated at random viewers as well. Like, why do you guys deserve different? Oh, because you are somebody who I don't represent the community.
No.
I just sit here and I want to play fucking video games. I'm just
hey man,
lucky,
streamers should be held to a higher standard, okay? We're role models in the community. We should be held to a higher fucking standard, man. We can't say those things. Right? Oh, yeah. It's so That's bad. It's so bad. Ugh, God.
Dude, we just want to play the game, man. We just want to enjoy the game. We are just lucky. We are really lucky that you guys happen to, give me more attention. I really don't deserve it, but I'm happy that you guys come in, have a good time. But I want to let it know now, since this is going to be on YouTube. It is not my intention to make fun of people. I don't do that. It's just purely reaction.
Hey, play devil's advocate again.
Okay.
Because I think there's a line to be crossed too, right? And I've crossed that line streaming too. I've crossed that line too. Because I think for a lot of people, simply going into Party Finder, like for you guys don't feel this at all. I guarantee it. But for a lot of people, they're terrified going into Party Finder. Not because they're scared of the party not being successful. It's just like, what if I mess up and everyone here hates me?
Yeah. Right? So here's the thing,
and you can't shake that feeling. And then now you're in a group with Xeno or Arthars, or to a lesser extent, Bok Choy.
Let me add to that by just saying, like, the worst thing, and it's not really that bad. I'm fine with it, but like at the same time, if someone says, "Hey, you're Frosty from MogTalk," first thing that goes in my head is like, "Oh fuck, I'm gonna fuck this up, and I am gonna let this guy down who's like, yeah, I love your show, and I'm about to make him wipe 1,000 times because I'm shit, right?" So it's. Go ahead. No, go ahead.
So I think if you're saying something like objective, right? Like, oh, I don't think this red mage understands this mechanic, right? Then right? Or it's just like, oh my goodness, what is this red mage doing, right? But I think if you're just like, what an idiot or something, like they already feel bad that they fucked up, and
don't worry about it. It's okay. That's life.
But yeah, they already feel bad enough about it. But like, just I guess when you draw attention to it, stuff like that kind of deters people into wanting to Party Finder with streamers, right?
No, yeah.
Man,
go ahead.
Sometimes, man, the chat, yeah, the chat will always be more savage than I can ever be. And I'm not even fucking kidding. Some of the shit that I see in chat, I gotta stand up for these kids. I gotta stand up for these people. I'm like, yo, this guy ain't that bad. I believe in this guy. I believe him. He's not gonna wipe us the 9th time in a row. He's not gonna fuck this up the 10th time in a row. He's not gonna do it. I believe. And he does it. And chat's even fucking chat is so savage. But then that one time when the person doesn't do it and you're like, fuck yeah, fuck you, chat. Fuck off, dudes. Yeah. And then that's a victory. That's a victory.
Healers, chat. Dude, chat is more savage. You think I'm savage, you should read it. Chat would be like Omega Law 8k DPS white mage, 7k DPS white mage. I'm like, dude, 7k, 8k is fine. We don't need it. That's why he's here. He's not the best. He's not in the static. That's why he's here. That's why we are here to make it up. That's why some of you in chat who are the better players come in and make it up. Why are you making fun of him? It is exactly he's being bad that makes you try harder to help him, right? Like people say, oh, 7k, 8k. I'm like, holy shit. You think those people that watch our stream and join PF and are scared because, oh shit, I'm in Arthars party, I'm in Xeno party. Bro, when I go as a samurai on job that I'm not comfortable, I'm sweating bullets, man. I'm astrologian. My astrologian is gonna be shit. I'm gonna hand out cards badly. My divination. You know how bad chat? Oh, Omega Law, where's your card? Oh, no pre-pull macro, and then I fuck up a card. I give the person the wrong card. I mess up my pre-patch sleeve draw. You know how bad it is? Oh, Arthars white mage is only doing 9k. Dude, fuck, man. It is worse on a. You guys only deal with one person, me. Okay, maybe you are even more like Box say. You are even more. You extended your concern. What if Twitch chat? What if in Xeno channel, what if 500, 600 people feels the same? I feel bad. Dude, it's the same. When Xeno fucks up, 700 people sorry. You think we don't deal with it? We try to shrug it off in a fun way, right? Just like, again, I'm not trying to say that I'm using the PF people as a victim for me to make fun of. It's just a pure reaction. But I mean, I also take measures. We obviously learn our lesson. We got banned. People apparently sometimes, like Box say, some people feel that bad that they needed to find a way to not say get at us. I don't want to say that they are coming at us. They just voice it out, and the GM just didn't take proper action. But we take measures, right? For me, I put my ACT become random name now. Instead of chat, oh shitting, oh I know this guy. At least now it's just like, oh lol, why me? At least I try to narrow it down a little bit. Hopefully that's enough. But otherwise, honestly, aside from not streaming at all, this is just something that I can't avoid. I also try my best to pretend that, people ask who I am. Oh, are you the Arthars? I just like, I don't want to reply. The less people knows me, the better.
If they'll ask you, if you don't respond, they'll just go to your Twitch channel and say, oh, yep, that's
it. I'll say shit, man. I don't say shit in chat. They're like, hey, what's up? I just put a smiley face, dude. That's it. Take that however you want. Open mouth smiley face, man. So here's like one thing I try to be conscious of, man, is that like, you're in the party finder, someone's like fucking up, now like as a streamer, like I've, over time, it just comes natural, but you build up like a tolerance. So you become numb to like embarrassing shit. I mean, now there's still some shit that, you're embarrassed and you gotta like, oh man, I can't believe that just happened, man. There's some shit, but like, for the most part, you build up a tolerance, so you get used to it. But like other people that don't have that, they're not used to it. So like the littlest thing can like really set them off. You know what I mean? So I try to keep that in mind as well, especially if they're like, let's say somebody messes up and they type out, they're like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I'll try not to do that again. I like to stand up for them. I'm like, nah. Once a person misses their mistake, immediately forgiven. They're going to learn. Now, if they do it again, come on, man.
The smiley face happens when they apologize.
Yeah, but they're trying, and that's important, because like, when I play other jobs or when I do something I'm not comfortable with, I mean, I'm trying, I still mess up or whatever. So I try to be conscious of that, because I know like that like a lot of people, they're not used to, I don't know if I want to say like pressure or just like people watching or used to not being embarrassed or something like that, however you want to word it, but they're not used to it. So they don't have that tolerance built up. So like that can get like, basically I try not to cross the line of like I try to stay on the humorous side, because I don't want anybody to actually take offense or anything like that. because that's not my intent. I just want to have fun. I just happen to find when people fuck up, myself included, very funny. So I try to find the humorous things about that. Yeah. So like I try to keep in mind that like not everyone has the same like tolerance levels of like, I guess like embarrassment or whatever. So because I never want to cross that line,
right? And so like it's a way where you just get used to shitty things happening and shrugging it off, and just you get this confidence after a while. But you have to have like repeated exposure of having to deal with it to really gain that confidence, I think. And most people don't. Most people aren't experiencing Party Finder, 8 hours a day. So they don't really have that repeated exposure of, oh, I made a mistake. Well, life goes on. No one really cares.
Yeah. And it doesn't matter. Like honestly, it almost doesn't matter like how bad someone's like performance is, as long as they do just enough right to like get through the fight. That's it. As long as it's possible, even if there's like a 1% chance that we'll fucking, succeed in whatever it is we're doing. Mm-hmm. Like I'll stay, I'll help, I'll do all that. But obviously if it's impossible with this person, I'm not going to waste my time. I mean, it's the same time, I'm going to waste my fucking time. Yeah. But as long as it's possible, I will stay with that group until the end of time or until someone leaves. Usually it's until someone leaves. Right when I see that light party, I'm out of there. People leave. But
never the first, yeah. Never the first.
Yeah, never the first. Never the first. That's the rule. If you're going to talk all the shit, then you can't get mad and rage quit. You can't. Unless there's 0%. Unless there's 0%. If there's 0%, get the fuck out of there. Don't waste your time.
Right.
Hey, you know what? I got a question about that. So as long as they do that, okay. I'm sure you've gotten this too. Okay. Both of you guys. So like, let's just suppose you join a group in Party Finder and it's a clear party, right? Mm-hmm. And they're working on 7, right? They're working on 7. And like, these guys are struggling. They're struggling. And maybe it's just a couple guys. Maybe it's just 2 guys that are struggling. And the other 6 guys have to step it up, You have to throw a couple extra reses, a couple extra heals, and you're going to have to do a couple thousand extra DPS, right? Mm-hmm. To make sure that this group can clear. And then you successfully clear, and you're happy because, it's like all these people have their clear. And then somebody in Twitch chat will always say something like, oh, great, you just helped them clear 7. Now you're going to pollute 8 with these guys who clearly don't know how to play this game. Right, so they're just like, you think you're helping, but you're not, because you're bringing bad players into the next tier or into the next fight. So like, how do you feel about that? Like, I just like to help people. I just like to help people find success. I like to help people have fun, and sometimes that brings a lower skilled player into it unlocks the next fight for them. Uh-huh. Is that such a bad thing? I mean, how do you guys feel about that?
Okay, so the people that say that, I think, are shitters. They are shitters. They have a bad attitude. They should just shut the fuck up because no one is excluded from this content. No one is like savage shit is for everybody. That's for everybody. It's for everybody. So if you have to drag somebody across the finish line, then that's fine. They got their fucking clear because man, the people that say that they're no better than the people that they're shitting on. Because good players won't say that shit. They won't say that shit. None of the good players that I know would ever say anything about that, or would say that about those players, man. Because man, everybody needs help sometimes. What if they suck ass at 7, but they're gods at light rampant? Holy shit! Finding a player in Party Finder that's good at light rampant. What if they just fuck off entirely and never mess up light rampant? That would be amazing. That would be fucking amazing. Mm-hmm. That would be stellar. And you know what? You did that. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that's going to happen, but I'm just saying that like no one should be excluded from this content. So the people that are like, good, like thanks for polluting it's like, man, fuck you, dude. You're no better than this guy anyway, man. Fuck off. So that's my experience though. That's my experience.
The people who say that normally are the ones who go into Party Finder and hope to one-shot it and get upset when they don't one-shot it. And that's not what Party Finder is. If you want flawless execution every week, you're going to have to put in the work of building a relationship with 7 other people and get a fucking group and clear it, one shot every week. It's just not possible.
And if your patience level is that low, you're going to have a hard time finding and keeping a static anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, maybe that's why they don't have a static.
Maybe that's why they don't have a static.
Yeah. Like most people in Party Finder, in my experience, they have like no patience, or the people with very little patience will actually be the people that wipe you the most. They'll either have like shit damage or they'll fuck up a mechanic trying to be greedy, and then they'll leave. Yeah. I've been in a lot of parties. Been in a lot of parties where the shittiest person actually fucks up the most, and then they get mad and they leave. Oh, I'm better than this party. I'm better than this. See you, nerds. And then we fucking rep them and we do so much better.
My favorite thing when that happens is what they do is someone will make a mistake that doesn't wipe the group, and then they'll mess up and they'll be like, it's because he threw me off because he did this, and then like my rotation's fucked now and I can't do anything, and they'll just jump off the side, or they'll die to the next mechanic, and they just blame the other little mistake. But that's not what Party Finder, I think, is really about. It's about just trying to make it to the end. You're not speed running. You're not, trying to kill it as fast as possible. You're just trying to kill it with a group of random people, right?
Hey, finding success in Party Finder is about persistence, because you're not you're gonna take a lot more pulls than say a static, right? A static. I mean, you play together. You learn each other's tendencies and all that stuff, right? But Party Finder, it's about persistence, right? A static is about like compromise, right? And basically, it's like, I want, and just basically like, you find the right hours and you kind of try to work together. But when you're in Party Finder, it's supposed to be a slog, right? So if you expect instant success, like you're just setting yourself up for disappointment, right?
Yeah. I mean, when I cleared E8S for the first time with Arthars, we did it in that group. And then next week, I one-shot it, and I was like, why is everyone complaining? Then the week after that, I spent the whole day trying to clear it, and I was just like, man, I don't fucking know about this anymore.
Hey, sometimes you get lucky, though, man.
Yeah. It doesn't matter you clear. It doesn't matter whether you clear fast or you clear at enrage, right? Clearing is clearing, you know what I mean? Don't blame us if we join a group to help. And yes, the people are underperforming, but like Xeno said earlier, they did enough. You want to blame Square Enix for didn't make it harder. Blame Square Enix that we could. A few of us could somehow carry it. Blame. That guy seen through the whole fight. Let's just say, for example, he died every minute. And if we can still clear that guy, is it really our fault? Dude, I mean, the fight design should also take some responsibility, right? How can this happen? Now, let's just say if next week, this poor guy that got, you say, oh, Xeno, Arthars, you clear this guy, man. Now he's in my party. Hey, listen, you can replicate what we did. Just drag him over the finish line. A clear's a clear. Now, if you can't, then maybe you ain't that better than us. And I don't want to say.
Hey, I was able to clear with him. Why can't you? Yeah.
I'm not a good player. I'm decent player at best. But hey, if I can do that, and you were like in there thinking that hey, Biggie, you clear him, then you must be better, right? Drag him over the finish line. It can be done. Now, if you can't, then maybe he needs more practice, or maybe you guys are just as bad. So shut the fuck up. It's not our fault. Yeah.
One excuse, man, that just I don't know, man. It fucking irks me, dude. Is so like some people be like, oh, well, I don't have time for a static. Oh, well, I don't have time for this. Okay. Well, then you have no right to complain that it takes that you have to Party Finder shit. As a matter of fact, you should be thankful that there's a fucking there used to not be a Party Finder in this game. There used to not be one. Yeah, and you used to not be able to go back into the turns to help people clear. So the people are like, oh, I don't have time for that. Okay, then you need to play this game with the mentality that you're going to have to put up with 7 random players every single time. That's just life. That's the way it is, man. Like, that's just the way it is. I used to have to do that shit like years ago. I know how it is. Sometimes it sucks, but that's not an excuse. That's just the way it is. If you don't like that, then fucking change it if you can. I mean, I don't know what to tell you, but like that's not an excuse. At least to me, it's not, because I lived through that and I had to deal with it. And you just have to go in with the mentality. Look, I'm gonna have to play this game with 7 people that I have no fucking idea what's gonna happen. So I'm gonna need a little more patience.
So
people go in with like the wrong mentality.
So I go in with the mentality of like, all right, I'm going to do this fight. If I get a party that I think might not be able to clear it, you know what? I'm just going to practice, right? I'm going to get better and just get what I can out of the party finder. If I'm really that upset, maybe I'll leave. I'm not going to sit there and throw a rage fit, but I think that every single time I join the party finder, either I can get better at the fight or there's a chance I can progress and clear it. So I never look at it in that kind of negative light, but that's just me personally, and it keeps me sane at least. So
well, I mean, I've just seen a lot of like comments and stuff, like a lot of posts and shit, like, or a lot of complaints and stuff like that, man. And I don't know, man, it's just like back when I pug shit, here is like one thing in Party Finder that I won't understand either, is that there'll be 7 out of 8 or 6 out of 8 players that are ready to clear the fight. But instead of just kicking the 1 or 2, the party leader will completely disband, and then it's over. Like what?
That's JP mentality.
Why? But why? That doesn't make any sense. You don't even have to give a reason. You just kick them. You just kick them. See ya. Bye. You just kick them, and then you put up the party fund. You don't have to give them a reason. Just bye later.
If they're uncarryable, right?
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be mean. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to say anything. You just have to be like, wow, okay, this person, there's no way we're clearing with this person. So, okay, they can get the fuck out. It's like, there's no reason why 1 or 2 people should ruin it for like 6.
You can even be nice about it. Just like, sorry, you're really struggling with that mechanic, and we're trying to prog past that point, right? So we're going to have to let you go, and that's it.
I mean,
right?
people...
Sometimes you can even, if you really want to be transparent with this person and you could do that, or you could just kick them. Like, honestly, as the party leader, you have that right.
But that's the problem with Final Fantasy 14. Okay. Yeah, that's the problem with Final Fantasy. You can't. That's the problem with Final Fantasy 14 right now. You cannot do that.
Okay, you know
that's
what?
Why,
take it back. Don't say shit. Don't say shit.
For this leader that actually disband, they are actually protecting themselves. You can't take chances. Now, I'm not sure whether this is going to take a turn to another discussion, but I mean, let's just keep it.
Iron Fist
you cannot do that.
Has prevented us from telling the person why they got kicked. So if they don't know, it's not our fault. It's SE's fault.
Okay, Bob.
Right, lesson learned.
Let me tell you. Let me just TLDR for you. What happened in these 8 months? You cannot do that anymore, because if the person you kick, even you give him a valid reason, or you don't give him a reason, basically once you kick him, if that person is salty, and if the person can write up a really nice story of how he feel unjustified, and the receiving end of that report, that GM feels that he's right, you are done.
Yeah, it's open to.
You are done.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
There is no defense on the. Yeah, there is no defense on the offender.
You're 100% right. You're 100% right.
You are just gone. No one wants to take that risk. Trust me. Yeah. Trust me. I know.
Trust me. There's a 0.1% chance, just don't do it.
Trust me.
Man, I just deleted all my fucking VODs because we got prog coming up, dude. I don't want to get fucking banned.
It's just this game. Which is funny because I've been playing World of Warcraft the last 1 week, right? But the last 3 days I've been pugging. You know what's funny? The mentality is totally different. Now, how people leave the group is exactly the same. People come in, expect a one-shot. You don't one-shot, they don't say anything, they leave. For me, it's like, yeah, I've seen that before. Final Fantasy 14 is the same. I've seen people mass leave after one pool. One pool, they just feel like it's not worth my time. I'm like, this is normal. Now, one thing I noticed different. People in WoW shit talk one another. People in WoW will actually really just go savage in one another. Why are you here? Oh, F you, man, I'm out. Oh, get the fuck out. I'm going to kick you anyway. I'm like, holy shit, you guys can do that in WoW? Wow, this is... Yeah. In 14, you can't do that. People ask me, really? Nah, in WoW, you're fine. Passing in WoW is legal. Yeah. You can't do that in Final Fantasy 14, man. You can't even talk about it, That's this is what is happening to the game, Bob. No one dares to type anything. Have you heard of the funny story? Someone in Limsa spammed Holy and got banned. someone in Limsa spam emotes.
Wait, hold on. They casted the
banned.
spell that the game gave them?
Yeah, they considered it like harassment because they were spamming it like as an annoyance, right?
And you get turn off effects.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You know, there was this new emote, hi-fi emote, I think, the new one, where there's a piak sound, right? I actually went up to this Mikote standing on the bench and I'm like, I'm trying to slap her ass, you know? So I'm like, yeah, just for fun, right? Holy shit, man, I forgot that you can do a /EM emote so that when you do the hi-fi emote, it doesn't spam the chat. I did it like 10 times. And then after that, the Mikote turned around and smiled at me. I'm like, holy fuck. If this Mikote reported me for slapping her ass and me spamming the chat log for 10 times, I'm gone. It's gonna be second offense. I'm gonna get banned permanent. That's it. I won't be raiding in 5.4. That's how fucking terrified I am playing this fucking video game right now, which I like. And that's how scary it is. So, do you want to dare to kick people out of party, Bob?
I mean, there's
okay. So don't say anything. Got it.
just disband, regroup, disband, regroup. I guess, or just leave the group and just start another party finder and just don't invite if someone tries to join. Don't you blacklist the people you don't want. So that's what you do. You disband, backlist the people you don't want to join, and then start up again.
Okay, if you're in the party finder and you're trying to really get it clear, okay, because so I have 3 characters. I have two in my group because we do the all clear shit, and then I have a third specifically for party finder, right? Specifically for party finder. So within the first, I would say 2 months, I actually put up my own parties. If someone underperforms or something, or they're being fucking weird, or they say something stupid or something, I'll leave. I will kick them. I will put my party finder back up. It's literally as simple as that. That's a tip. If you want to clear shit, and someone's really fucking bad, don't type to them. Don't say anything to them. Leave the instance. Kick them the fuck out. Put the party finder back up. That's it. That's all you got to do. That's what I do for the first 8 weeks or 7 weeks or however long on my pug character, and eventually you're gonna cycle through some people, 3, 4, but eventually maybe the 5th one, is gonna be okay, and you're gonna clear. That is gonna be way less time than it is to sit there with 2 or 3 really underperforming players. It also depends on the party too. The parties I put up are just, in that instance is just, we're just gonna clear. It's like a weekly. So the party's mentality isn't supposed to be in there for 2 hours. I don't expect to clear it on the first attempt. Maybe within the first 8 or 10. That's that's okay. That's fine. That's all right. But after that, you got to start, okay, this guy, and it's nothing personal. It's nothing personal. It's just, hey, man, this is my mentality. This is how much time I got today. I don't have time. I don't have the extra time. Hit me up in 2 days after I clear all this shit, and I'll have all the patience in the world. But right now, I got to worry about me. I don't worry about you. I got to worry about me.
So
I don't care about you. I care about you in 2 days after I get all my fucking clears.
Yeah.
I got to make sure that this shit is taken care of, so it's just a mentality. There's also a learning party. Obviously you're learning, so don't expect to clear. There's a prog party, it just really depends on the party. But if you're actually trying to fucking clear the shit, then instead of just disbanding the entire group, just remove the person or two. And it ain't no thing. They'll jump in another party. That's the beauty about party. They'll just jump into another party. It's fine. They'll get the practice or whatever.
Why do you think they do that in the JP servers, where if a group doesn't clear in 3 attempts,
it's a social thing, right?
Instead of removing it's just a politeness thing. You don't want anyone to the shame. You don't want to inflict the shame of being picked, so you just disband the whole party. Is that what it is?
Okay, here's the thing. It has been a thing since Final Fantasy 11 already.
Okay.
They don't want to replace people because the leader who make the group, they have huge responsibility. When they make the group, even in Final Fantasy 11, same for Final Fantasy 14, it's the exact same mentality. The reason why they do that is because they feel a huge responsibility, and if they can't do it, they feel that they fail the group. And for that, right, instead of just like replacing people, because first, if you replace people to them, to JP, when you replace people, you are already making 7 people wait for your mistake because you didn't foresee this guy underperforming. So let everybody go rather than trapping everybody go. Let everybody go so that they can go find, they can go find another way to do it. Now, some JP usually, unless if it's like a half static or friends, they will remake the PF. But usually, right, when the leader, right, disband the group, you will not see him put up a PF immediately. He will either be joining others because maybe he felt like he failed as a leader. Fuck it, maybe the next party, let me just join another one and see how I can improve. They just decided to let it go. Everybody can go do their own thing. And at the same time, they don't want to put up the PF again because they will feel like, oh my God, you just like, wait, did you just like indirectly just kick the 7 of us when only one person made mistake, So it's a cultural thing. It's just how the people behave. It's mainly just how the people. It's stupid.
So,
it's really, really dumb.
So you don't agree with that?
Really dumb.
You think it's better to remove the problematic players rather than just disband the party? So you're with Xeno on that too, right?
Because at the end of the day, it's business. You are everybody's time is equal.
I think I agree.
Now,
I agree.
Disbanding. Yeah. So it's just how you depend on, like, if you yourself hold that regard, like, fuck man, I just fucked out the party. That's one of the reasons why I don't have to make party. Because I personally, maybe because I've been playing 11 plus 14 for the last 18 years already. So maybe I kind of adopt that mentality a little bit. I'm very scared to make statics. I'm very scared to make PF. I always just join. But I will never be the first to leave. It's the same for JP. JP, there is no JP that will volunteer to be the first to leave. And so usually the leader will have, again, responsibility of the leader. That's why they feel so pressured. It's usually up to the leader and say, this is last. Nobody in the group will usually say, I need to go, guys. This isn't working. Let me just leave instant. Although nowadays JP does do vote abandon. You see it more often, which is something I don't see. But they are starting to. Yeah. At the end of the day, we are all humans, right? You can see that some JP are also feeling a little bit like this is not working. But instead of just disband, they make it like, okay, let's do it together. We all vote abandon. We get out of instance. Party disband. Like, it's a culture. Yeah, it's a culture.
Okay. So you think that you would rather have a party leader who removes the problematic players rather than the one who just simply disbands the whole thing and just blows the whole damn thing up?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Because
I think all three of us agree then.
Yeah.
Frosty, what about you?
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it depends. Like, most of my progression, I look for parties. First thing I do is I look for parties. All right, does this look like something I can do? Does this look like a group I can join and be a part of? Sure, I'll join it. If I can't find one, depending on my mood, I'll make a party because, honestly, there is that extra weight of, I have some responsibility. I have to make it and manage people and everything else in a way. But at the end of the day, if you don't have an issue doing that, you get through Party Finder so much faster because you just have control over the situation, right? You're not waiting for that person who make Party Finder to be okay with kicking the people who are not good. You just go ahead and say, hey, I'm going to control this. This is what I'm going to do. These are the rules. And you just start powering through the turns. And I think you'll be more successful if you do that instead of, trying to be socially acceptable in a way. And I think a lot of times that people have issues, they're issues with... they hear about it, and then it's happened once, twice, 3 times, 4 times maybe, and then they relate it, it's going to happen to me. Maybe. I just haven't seen widespread, banning and everything else. We've seen it with Xeno, we've seen it with Arthars, but that was like, I don't think those situations occur to most people. Because even yours, they included Twitch VODs, right? That you didn't know about, but...
No, they didn't give me a reason.
They didn't give you a reason.
They never gave me a reason. Everybody was like, no, it's in the email. No, you fucking morons, you idiots. It's not in the fucking email. If it was in the email, I would have known. If it was in the email, I would have known. They didn't give me a reason.
Okay.
They said vulgarity. They said vulgarity. That's it.
Yeah. Xeno pasted the chat with the GM. The GM, I mean, actually that is pretty standard. That is actually pretty standard, which is bad because we need to know. That's why for my ban, right, I was really, really surprised, number one. And number two, also very appreciative because the GM actually pasted the VOD, the exact VOD. and I copy and paste, and I'm like, what the shit, man? They actually take, because that was the first time I knew that they will take materials outside of Final Fantasy 14. And this GM particularly linked me the most. He tell me, you need to delete this video. I'm like, holy shit, man, thanks, man. Like, actually, everybody's like, oh, you can't do that, you can't do that. For me, I look at it as, dude, if he didn't tell me which, that means that another person could have used this same VOD and get me banned twice. You know what I mean? So it's really weird, but at the same time, they have their protocol. They cannot tell you. They always say we can't disclose, but you should, man. You should disclose.
Yeah, it must have been nice to get a VOD because they didn't tell me shit.
Exactly. Rather than delete the whole thing, like Xeno had to delete the whole thing. I only needed to delete one video.
Well, I mean, now you kind of have to delete the whole thing, unless if you are really good with DCMA, right? I mean, Baki even got a warning.
I got 2 warnings.
What, you seriously got 2 warnings?
I haven't streamed in months. Yeah, I got 2 warnings.
I never got a warning. So
and they're
I never got a warning either, not yet. Knock on fucking wood.
Yeah, I better get on that. I've just been lazy.
Yeah, it's a whole mess now. But I mean, it's weird. I do wish that they were a little bit more streamlined. It feels more like the GMs kind of do what they think they're supposed to do in a way, and the policy they have to do. So one person was a little bit different to Arthas, and one person was a little bit different to Xeno, because something was unclear on their end, and it's not clarified, and they should be doing it consistent. Everything should be consistent, I think.
There was one person in our Twitch chat, kind of regular, like hang around a lot in our channel. He, every time when he's in a group with me, he always shit talk. He always use the F word. He always call people out, like, oh, you're not doing this properly. Oh, F you, I'm out. I'm like, yo, you can't do that. Dude, me and Xeno, Violent got banned for that. Me and Xeno got banned even without saying anything. You can't do that. He's like, it's fine. I do that every time. Finally, he got sent to jail. Exactly the same message that was sent to Xeno. Exact copy and paste. Xeno got 10 days ban. That guy who done it on a daily basis in PF, in the system, on the chat log, got released from the jail. The GM told him, just don't do that again. He's like, oh, sure, okay. Xeno got 10 days for even not saying anything.
You know what's fucked up about that is that was my first offense. A lot of people thought that I had got banned or suspended like 2 or 3 times prior. Nope. That was my first offense, actually. And they didn't tell me why. They never told me why. That's sus, man. That's extra sus, dude.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that would be definitely something that I hope we start, like, these were learning experiences on the GM side, and maybe something positive is going forward. Maybe that's why it was different for the friend you're talking about, Arthas, is that maybe Xeno's experience was a learning thing for the GM side and everything else, and they're trying to be better about it. I don't know. I can't comment because I'm not a GM. I don't work for Square Enix. I don't know what the fuck's happening back there. I just know the experiences that we've been seeing so far.
Well, now my VODs are sub only, so if you want to report me, you got to give me $5, idiots. You want to report me, you got to give me $5. Roll that dice. Yeah, the $5. You want it?
Yeah.
You got to pay for it now.
All right. So I guess we should kind of move. We talked about attitudes and everything else. And I think one thing I want to leave off on the whole like mentality part of all this is that every single person that you're experiencing, whether it's a streamer, whether it's just a random person in the group you've never heard of, whether it's like really good raiders, they're all human beings that fucking are unpredictable in their own ways, and they don't always mean, you know, they say the horrible things, but it's not always like from a part of like, oh, I wish you were dead, right? It's always like a part of, I'm just upset right now. And that's human life. You're going to experience what the social life of the internet is in Party Finder, and you have to kind of accept that.
Yeah, you just got to know what you can do, what you can't do. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, I was not told what I couldn't do, but that doesn't matter because I was never like upset like at the person who reported me. If they genuinely felt like they were super upset, then that's fine. That's within their right. The thing that pissed me off the most was the fact that I just got no reason. So like I was never mad like necessarily at the person. I was just mad because I was given no reason. So basically it's like, hey, you just have to go through everything and you know what, just go ahead and get rid of it. That's like 5 years of that's like 5 years of memories there. What the fuck? Yeah. Like you can't even give me like a date or anything, you know? Like, I don't know about that.
I mean, you gotta to add to that, they kind of have like this whole sense. Some do and some don't. Is I have to watch every fucking thing I say because if I say the wrong thing, that's going to end up on Twitter. That's going to end up everywhere. And so if they just say it the wrong way and they don't just cover their tracks and try to be completely liability-less, I guess, then they could fuck themselves over and get fired. So, I mean, I have to look at it in that perspective, too. Like, maybe that person was a little bit less trusting of giving that information to you, where Arthars' guy was like, you know what, I'm going to give it to you, hope I don't get fired kind of situation. I don't know. It's hard to tell.
I feel I deserve at least that much, man, dude. I had this Square Enix account since the first day Final Fantasy 11 needed you to link a Square Enix account to play Final Fantasy 11. My account is OG day one. The day Square Enix introduced Square Enix account, my account was created. At least 10, 20 years. I never had any problem with GM. I never had any problem with in-game people reporting me or fuck, man. Like FF11, it's not like today, right? We have Twitch. It's not like today we have voice comm. Everything is typed in game. You got any shitting on one another, you got JP shitting on one another, everything is in game. Like, it never felt like that. Why suddenly 2020 I have to go through all this? Just because I'm a streamer? Holy fuck, man, I'm just trying to have more fun. End up, it's actually worse. I'm actually getting less fun. Sometimes when I get triggered, which I get triggered very easily, sometimes when I say something that set me off, I delete the VOD. And I'm like, oh my god, there we go, man. People can't watch the VOD anymore.
Oh, I do the same thing.
Man,
the moment I say something, the moment I feel I upset someone remotely, again, we learn. It's not like we don't learn, but we can't change who we are. I'm still, next month, I'm 40 years old already. I'm believing my life. I'm not going to start it. I'm not a positive person. I'm not like the nicest person. You can ask my wife, 13 years of marriage, she probably still think that I'm a piece of shit, you know?
You're lucky, yeah.
I can't change. This is how I behave, you know what I mean? Like, I can't just do it for one person.
So
I can't just, you know.
I mean, to really get into that, it's really just the internet and the social evolution of everything that's happening behind the scenes and mixing with the internet at the same time, and it's going to be changing. And as we get old and we're just old farts and we don't fucking we don't keep up with it as well, it's going to seem weird to us. But eventually, my thought is that eventually things go to the right place with enough people involved. But I don't know. That being said, going into 5.4, and I've said this to you guys multiple times, but I'll say it here on stream too, that this is probably the last really major release content for Party Finder. I mean, Ultimate's going to come around, and people, Xeno has clears with Ultimate and Party Finder. Some people do, but I think most of Party Finder exists around Extremes, and at least when you're talking about rating, Extremes and Savage, right? So this is the last major Savage tier that we're going to see in Party Finder until the next expansion is released and we get the first tier from there. So,
well, I think 5.4 on is going to be fucking lit, man.
You think so?
We're going to get the rate. Oh yeah, okay, man.
Okay.
It's just going to be full of shit because we're going to get the rate tier. Then we're going to get Savage Boja. Then we're going to get the 24 man with the Ultimate like 2 weeks later or whatever. Then we're gonna get the very end of the expansion is gonna have the extra relic shit. But I think people underestimate how much content that the raid tier is gonna have on top of the Ultimate, because last year we didn't have that. We didn't have a raid tier plus an Ultimate right before the expansion. This time we are. So it's like we're gonna be able to bounce back and forth between the content. So it's gonna feel like that there's a lot more. At least for me. I can't really speak for anybody else, but
I think there'll be unlimited. I think there'll be unlimited content the moment 5.4 comes in, especially after going through what we just went through.
The lull just happened, basically. This is like the end of the lull, the main lull. Right?
The
content drought just happened. It's basically the between patch that doesn't have an Ultimate in it.
But if you don't do Ultimate, then that kind of cuts that out of your whole content.
Then they're all the same.
Yeah, and so, I mean, without Ultimate, I'm a person who's never cleared Ultimate because I'm a shitty player who doesn't have time to not be a shitty player and actually learn the fights. And I'm not going to have someone get me through and be like the triple legend who doesn't even know how to do the fights. But the thing is, like, I want to be able to see what's going on. I guess Boja, is that going to be in Party Finder at all? Is that going to be like something that we see there, or is it just going to be?
I have no idea, but it'll be something until the fucking Ultimate.
Okay.
It will be fun, but I really look forward. Not Savage, not Ultimate. I look most forward to this Boja because I think, as a streamer, I feel it's a content that is gonna be doable by people. Discord, people joining, people with experience, and because there's no pressure, right? You know, the moment you clear one time, honestly speaking, unless there's like fucking reward in there, which is most likely not, because everything is just in red. The best reward is always in red. Same old 7 years, right? But I feel that as a streamer, right, I want to do one run with the viewers, and I feel that this type of content kind of can support that. I'm actually very that one is the one that like it's a big skill. I feel like it's the only Borgia, this upcoming Borgia, and of course the BA was the only content that makes me feel like it's an actual raid. It's a large scale raid. It's like a whole. It's a complete journey from the start to the end. I like that type of feel. That's why when I play WoW the last few days doing their raid, it kind of feel like this is I don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that Final Fantasy 14 Endgame Savage or Ultimate is not good. I love it, but I feel like the BA offers something that I think 14 needed, but sadly we only get one per expansion. So I really look forward to it.
Well, I mean, if it's like fairly successful, it may be one of those things that they release a couple of times, few times throughout an expansion, because that is something that we've missed. Our large scale was basically Raid Finder and WoW, where we had the the 72 man or whatever near raid and all that other stuff that you kind of do once and you're done. But hopefully the Savage Bozish stuff is something that's like actually going to be repeatable as Savage is right now. Like in Party Finder and everything else. But we have to see how that's developed. I have confidence in this raid, for sure, that it's going to be something that we could do every single week, though. And do you guys have any ideas of what we can do going into 5.4 to make this better than we went into 5.2? Because 5.2, we went into that, and we've talked about it to death, about the strats and everything else that was accommodating towards some players, and it really wasn't the best, and people just stuck with it, and it has caused a lot of conversation. What can we do going into 5.4 for it to be a great experience going into Party Finder?
Do the fucking strats Zemo does. Do those. Those will yield the highest percent clear rate and have the highest uptime. Do the Zemo strat.
Okay.
Do that one.
I'm glad I'm in the same static as Zeno. I don't have to do the guide. We'll be doing the same guide, so Zeno can just do it.
Man, I made a video. I tried to push for it. I made a video, but NA is so stupid. NA is so fucking stupid. Brain damaged motherfuckers, man. They don't want to make the bow tie, dude. Fucking idiots can't even make a bow tie. Can you tie your own shoes, morons? This is coming from a person who doesn't even have laces on their shoes. Can you tie your own shoes, idiots? Can you make a bow tie?
I'm gonna be the bot. I'm gonna play the devil advocate for one time. Okay.
Go.
To be honest, I feel this raid here is different. The reason why Party Finder is, like you said, more stupid or dumber this time, I think it's not because of the raid here. It's not because of the fight. I think it has to do with, number one, no Savage, no Ultimate. Number two, the COVID happened. A lot of people couldn't spend as much time playing the game or more attached to the game. And again, I feel like everything contributed to this 5.2 PF disaster. I call it the PF disaster, where people have to do like really fucking bad strat, and people have to settle for really bad strat. People have to learn multiple strat, and then at the end of the day, 8 months, you would think that by 8 weeks, strats will be better already. But 8 months, people are still doing the bad strat. People still confused about what strat each other is doing. People still don't know what is true north or what is boss relative, blah blah. Right? I think mostly because even for statics, I don't think statics give a fuck, because there's no ultimate. They don't feel like, you know what, we just clear and fuck it. Do we really need to learn something better? Like, dude, you want to do this content for 8 months? You want to do this content for them? There's no ultimate. Why bother farming? Some people just raid lore. That's why you see a lot of people, right, in the first few weeks, they don't want to learn something different. They just want to learn something. And for NA, sadly, the only two strat that actually came out from PF was Forsaken and Ilya. These two strat are literally the worst strat you can ever find for Light Rampant.
Okay, so
they learn two strat for 3 weeks before Parks can finally consistently group. You spend 1 day, 2 days, a week, you can finally find a group together. Nobody wants to learn a third strat. No, sadly, nobody wants to learn Ayatori because Ayatori is the third strat. In JP did Ilya and Ayatori. So for them, picking one of the two, I think is easier. For NA, it's either Ilya or Forsaken, and both are horrible to be honest. Like today, if Forsaken stay instead of Ilya, it would have been the same discussion. It's fucking bad.
So what makes a good party finder strat though? I mean, like we keep trashing on it, but what makes a good party finder strat? Why would we be happy for a party finder strat?
Hold on. Before we talk about that, I want to talk about this Ilya strat for a second.
Sure, yeah.
Because like it's really interesting because I have kind of a unique perspective where I kind of left the game, but I'm still involved with the community and I hear what people complain about. And everyone's talking about this strategy for light rampant that they don't like. And I think one thing people need to realize is that it is a week one strat. It is a week one strat. So I hear people trash on Ilya that there's a person who made the strat themselves. And I'm just like, it's a week one strat, dude. Like, leave him alone. It's kind of like if a caveman, I'm not saying he's a caveman. I'm saying if a caveman who invented the wheel, and now, several millennia later, we're flying in airplanes and stuff. Are we trashing? It's like, this guy built the wheel, lol. How is that useful to anybody? It's like, you have to have a week one strat to have a week two strat to have a week.
And it sucks. It sucks because his name's attached to it, right?
Exactly. And he doesn't even use that strat anymore, but he developed it because he was the first person that came out with a very, an easy to understand way to do this very complicated mechanic, right?
Yeah, I mean, he put out a 2-hour-long video, right? And he's just like, this is all the stuff. This is what I learned. If you guys want to clear, you could watch this, take it. And then people started attaching his name to it. And so I've never had a conversation with him, so I have no clue how he really feels about it. But I assume that he's not like, hey, guys, do my strat. You have to do it, right?
That's the one. Okay, so those who don't know the Ilya strat, in my opinion, I'm not going to go into the details about the actual strategy. But one, it's bad for damage output. Two, it's bad for incoming damage because the people who take the cleaves are the same people take the same cleaves, right? Anyway, whatever, it's bad, right? But the thing is, I think it's better for people to follow one. Okay, it's better to have the entire group, like the entire party, follow one strat rather than arguing over what strat to use.
No, which they did a good job. They did a good job. Like, holy fuck, man, you guys stuck through Ilya for 8 months.
Yeah.
That's amazing. That's actually good. But what I was trying to say, like earlier, I didn't manage to finish, is that I don't think the PF is stubborn that they don't want to change the red. The fact that they actually had to and they chose one and stuck with it for 8 months, it's okay. But I feel that what they did wrong is that they
chose the wrong strat.
No, Shiva is very difficult. Shiva, everything about Shiva in the first, I would say, fucking hell, 2 months, it's too difficult for PF. Not just like Rampant. There is a lot of things in Shiva that needs to execute really well. You cannot.
It's like a mini ultimate.
In parts, you cannot afford a few deaths. You just can't. In the first few weeks, you cannot afford a death. A lot of parts think that, oh, we are so close. We are 8% enraged. Bro, you are never going to hit that 8%.
Yeah, you're never going to hit it. Like,
you're never going to hit it.
You're never going to hit it. Like, that's cool. You saw it. It's 8%, but you don't have the damage even with 0 deaths.
So for these people, right? For these people, you go 3 weeks to finally get one clear consistently. The moment you go into 2 months, do you want to change the strat? I can understand why they stick to Ilya because I don't think that's why I was trying to like play the devil. I want to defend the PF here because I don't think changing a strat 3 months in, 3 weeks in is viable. Now they should. If they knew that they're going to be doing this content for 8 months, if they knew COVID would hit and there's this content drop, if they knew there's no ultimate, they weren't interested, they want to make their weekly clear easier. If they knew, I guarantee you they will not do Ilya. But because it snowballs 2 weeks in, 3 weeks in, 4 weeks in, why learn the new strat? 8 weeks in, why learn the new strat? 3 months in, why learn the new strat? I mean, some of us learn the new strat because we are finding content to do. But a lot of people like, why bother? There's no ultimate. Why bother? I'm not even in the static. Why bother? My static don't even want to min-max anyway. There's no ultimate. Why bother? My static already disband. Why bother? I'm unsubbing. Why bother? I don't even have money to sub because of COVID. You know, it's a difficult time, right? So a lot of people just like, fuck it, we just do Ilya. And for that, I commend them because it's such a fucking shit strat. And you guys somehow stuck it through for 8 months. I find it actually really fascinating. But holy shit, man, it's a really bad strat. Hopefully going to 5.4. Take this. This is a valuable lesson. If anything, Ilya and his strat has taught us this is a valuable lesson.
Yep.
If we're gonna do something for unforeseeable future 8 months, 7-month minimums to 8-9 months, fuck man. If you guys have the better chance next time, it's not Ilya's fault. It's the PF's fault.
Exactly.
You guys picked the wrong one. But if it's not Ilya, it's Forsaken. I know you guys will be picking the wrong one. So I just feel that you guys are really fucking unlucky because JP
it's
lucky.
Everybody's fault though.
It is.
Because it's like if we wanted to develop a better strat that became the PF standard, then somebody would have done it and somebody would have published it somewhere and organized it in a really, easy to understand way that people who want to do Party Finder could just be like, okay, this is the strat we're doing, right? But Xeno
tried, Xeno tried, but again, it was a little bit too late already because the mentality. The mentality is already
latch onto the first strat and they don't want to change it.
No one wanted.
Yeah, it's too late already. It was too late already. I can understand that. I understand why they don't want to do that. Like fuck, man. If I put myself in that situation, right? I learned Ilya. Finally, I learned both Forsaken. I learned Ilya. 3 weeks later, finally, you guys established Ilya. 4 weeks later, finally, most people know how to do it. A lot of trap. Now I want my weekly clear and get the fuck out. I'm not gonna learn another strat. And it's fuck, man. Shiva is just too hard, man, for Park. Which then brings me to wonder. Yeah, I wonder the next raid here. If they were to do what they have been doing to make a raid here harder than the other raid here.
I think that the next raid tier will be easier. Now, obviously, I could definitely be wrong, but I think the next raid tier will be easier for 2 reasons. One, because Shiva shit all over the community. I think Shiva was the hardest fight since A8.
Hey, what happened after A8? We got created.
For PF. Wait. Let's put it before people. Some fucking YouTube comments say that hey, no mistake, have no. We are talking about PF.
Yeah,
this is a PF show, okay?
Yeah.
We're not talking about you and your bubble and your static. That's fine. If you think that Shiva's easy, you think it's simple, that's fucking awesome. Go do it in Party Finder, and I guarantee your mind will be changed.
They've already shit all over. Like, as soon as it says YouTube, they'll shit on. As soon as they hear the first minute, they're like, okay, let me just start shitting on it. They won't watch the rest of the show. Those shitty comments. Yeah.
Well, so Shiva was just this fucking team that designed this shit just needs to stop. Get the fuck out. Stop. Never do another fucking raid tier. We don't
why?
Want you. This raid tier is fucking awful. It's
I like the raid tier overall.
Oh, the difficulty. Okay. So there's several things wrong with it. One, E7. What the fuck?
E5. Okay. Agree.
Like the difficulty curve is just all over the fucking place, dude. It's like you have E5, which is super punishing. It's ridiculously punishing. For a first turn, the Furious 14 or whatever has a fucking 8-man mechanic. Like, yes, I know you can live with 7. You can fuck up the last spear or whatever, but in Party Finder, you can't fuck up the last spear. If you fuck up the last spear, guess what? Everybody's fucking dead. That is very, very punishing for the first turn. For the first turn, like E6 doesn't have anything like that. At first,
Chain lightning as well.
Chain lightning. Also, that bird goes on a rampage. I've seen that bird go on a rampage.
Yeah.
Like, so at the beginning of the raid tier, I thought E6 was harder. And the reason why was because the very last mechanic where you have to have the DPS stack with the tanks and healers, they have to grab the tether, then the tanks and healers have to move. Okay, now that usually killed people. Conflag was usually like if you had like DPS die, it was okay because you could just heal or LB. But now that everybody's got gear, you just skip that last mechanic. You don't even fucking see it anymore. So that mechanic is completely out of the picture. So E5, you still have to deal with all that shit. You still have to deal with the spears and stuff. I mean, you're not skipping the double spears in Party Finder. There ain't no way.
Right.
So So E5 is way too hard. E6, I think E6 is the right difficulty, actually. E6 is the right difficulty. But E7, way too fucking easy. Way too fucking easy. It's a horrible fight. It's one of the worst designed fights. Like, it's boring. There's nothing cool about it. Like week 1 with all the portals and the birds, and you were like, oh my God, this is insane. It was crazy. But then when you found out about the spot, right? We found out about the spot. That completely ruined that fight.
Wait, what spot? I don't know about this.
There's a spot. All 8 people stacking,
you have to show me.
Yeah, there's a spot up in the top right corner or the top left. You can do it either one, but you literally just stack the entire group on one, or you stack 4 players on one panel, 4 players on the panel below, and you just do the mechanic.
Yeah, it's pretty. E7, it was too easy to break, and I think that's why it's like. So yeah, difficulty curve. Yeah, they missed the mark 100% on this.
Yeah, so it's like E5 is way too punishing. E6 is actually good. E7 way too fucking easy. The fight is horrible. The design of it's fucking trash. And then E8 way too fucking hard.
Wait, hold on. I'm gonna stop you right there. I remember people were always complaining ever since Alexander Prime. They said this fight's too easy when Alexander Prime came out. A12.
Yeah.
And then all of like 04, 08, 012, everyone's like, oh, this fight's too easy, too easy. Remember the good old days, like A8, when the final boss of a raid tier was actually hard. And now when they actually went and did it, everyone's complaining that it's too hard.
Well,
right?
There's the difference. There was an evolution, I think, during that time. Hold on. So during that time, Party Finder wasn't cross-server or cross-data center, and so it was harder to get groups as well. And so there's this whole mix of things getting easier because of that for Party Finder. Because of that, when they more people could access parties. And the second thing is when they came into the next expansion, they started this fucking repeat loop. That was why it was way too easy. If they didn't have a repeat loop, it may have not been so bad. I think they saw a lot of people not clear A8, and then they went down in that difficulty curve, which is the exact same thing that's going to happen here. I'm 95% sure that's what's going to happen. But yeah, we want more difficult stuff for our statics, but we want stuff that's doable in Party Finder too. I think we've kind of evolved and learned that.
People complain about the mechanic loop. I never cared about it. I wiped more to the final patch in 012 than I ever did to Hello World.
Yes.
That final patch, I don't know why it was so hard, but I guess people got cocky. They were like, yeah, we just did Hello World. And then they fuck up the patch and everybody's dead. At least in Hello World, you can patch was harder than Hello World. Almost everybody disagreed with me. Patch is harder than Hello World. In patch, one fuck up, everybody's dead. In Hello World, one fuck up, maybe salvageable. Maybe if you knew how to do the shit, maybe it was salvageable. But that patch after Hello World 2, I was sweating bullets. I was sweating bullets every time.
I personally feel Shiva. I mean, I'm not sure. I'm not trying to say that Shiva is a bad tier because it's too difficult. I just think it's like what Xeno says is the way they do the turn. Like, because 1 is so heavily gated, which is okay, but 2 unforgiving, and then 2 is the right difficulty, 3 too easy. A lot of people were on Shiva. Way too many people were on Shiva. They should have been gated at 3 already. They shouldn't be in Shiva. The moment you clear floor 1, you can get to Shiva already, because 2 and 3, if you can do Ramu, you can do Garuda, Ifrit, you can do. Yeah. Exactly. So I think this rate here, for these 2 here, the what we will always remember is how badly they done turn 3. Because Leviathan and this Idol of Darkness is just way too bad already. Now for Shiva, I think Shiva is okay. Yes, it's a little bit too hard for party for PF, but mainly because like Rampant. Maybe because like Rampant. Right, but Rampant plus the fact that we all, yes, I say I also have to take some responsibility, because if I can't change it, then I'm part of it, right? That we chose
a bad strat.
Yes. Yep. So, but I don't feel Shiva is not in a way that the final rate here has to tune down too much. Okay, think about it this way. Why does people feel that they have a glimmer of hope claiming Shiva, like we were talking about earlier? Oh, I got 4% enrage, 8% enrage. You weren't supposed to be there. If you are 4% enrage, 8% enrage, it means that you got hit by damage down because somebody dies, but you were still recoverable. and you manage to see the end. Like, we all done the second phase already. The mirrors, the knockback, except for the knockback mirror, which if the tanks die, then more people die. But
I don't.
still heal LB.
I'm going to be honest. Knockback mirrors is one of the mechanics I just want to take for a second and just say the timing that you have to do in that knockback, they shouldn't make that possible. Because then it becomes a part of Party Finder strat, and it's so easy to fuck up. They shouldn't make things.
I had to learn it like a couple days ago.
So you see,
go
what I mean, right? Yeah.
Sorry.
They shouldn't do damage now. Okay, let's just say if I were to find a way to elevate the Shiva fight to keep consistency, since Delta skip that rate here are consistently harder, all they have to do, right? Let's just say, hypothetically, they just have to replicate the exact Shiva fight. Maybe the light rampant ease it a little bit, not so crazy. And then for the last phase, right, after the transition, right, everything should one-shot you. You shouldn't get the damage down. You shouldn't get the damage down. You shouldn't be recoverable. It should be like Ramu, last phase, right, final fight. It should be like Ramu, 1% fuck up, it should be over. So that people cannot keep seeing mechanics, people cannot gather information,
but
people cannot think that they have a chance. No, listen, wait, let me finish first. Because that's exactly what happened to Shiva. That's what makes Shiva a little bit harder, because people think, oh, we got the damage now. Hey, we got one death. Hey, we see enrage. You are never going to meet that 4% just because of that. It should one-shot you so that you cannot continue to progress. The moment you die to the knockback mirror, it should be over. The moment you die to the wings mirror at the beginning, the quiz that we take, it should be over. The moment you fuck up the no-look, the mirror that you can't look at her being naked, and the mirror that reflect it, and then the dynamo chariot, you should be one-shot. There shouldn't be room for recovery. Like Ice Lead. Even Ice Lead is recoverable. You know what I mean? You can tank LB, you can see the next mechanic, you can experience the whole mechanic. That's what makes Shiva too forgiving, I think. So if the last rate here were to do exactly the same, but making sure that everything one shot is just one step up, I think they can retain the Shiva difficulty, but a little bit unforgiving. Then I would be okay with that. But otherwise, I don't see them design a whole fight exactly like Shiva, where everything is recoverable and make it more difficult, because it is impossible if they keep the same forgiveness but unable to hit DPS check for parts to go into the next rate here, but change it up mechanically. Parts is never going to clear it. Impossible. So I think
I was just going to say, you keep going on that, but I am completely fucking opposite on the point of damage downs being a punishment. I think that is a beautiful punishment, because even if they can't clear it, at least they can learn something, right? The most difficult part when I was progging through Shiva was like not being able to see shit. And so like when we would wipe
second tier,
for a
second no, for a second tier, I agree with you. That's why I think Shiva is fine for a second tier. Third tier though, they need to change something different. They need to keep the same difficulty, because I think Shiva is really the pinnacle of difficulty for PF, okay? Yeah. They can keep it that way, but they need to do it the other way around, because it's the final rate here. So, again, I'm saying this because I still believe that they will do a tier harder than the other. I still believe that, because if they were to, after 5 rate tiers, since Delta skip, Alpha, Delta skip, Sigma skip, Alpha skip, and then Eden skip, Eden verse, and then suddenly we go to Eden Promise and the Deep, I would be disappointed. I would be disappointed. Okay. Now, I know if I say this, the PF will seemingly continue to suffer, but again, I want to see it harder, but I want to see it differently harder. I'm not sure whether, you know...
I get what you mean. I get what you mean. You know I do. But I am so confident it's going to take a creator dip. It's not going to go...
I agree.
It would be nice, because I talked to Yoshida about that. I was like, are we going to start seeing this progressive like lead? Because right after creator, I asked him, I said, hey, look, we kind of expected to get harder after a while. And then he said, yeah, that makes more sense, but since people were having issues, we went down. You know, we plan to make it to where every tier is more difficult going forward, and then Ultimate happened, and they're like, fuck it, we'll just keep it the same the entire time, because Ultimate it gives everybody what they want, and then they can make everything kind of creator level difficulty, which they went above this time. I think they were trying to make it a little bit harder and test the waters with it, and that's what happened, if I had to guess. But
you know, I don't think it's important for the third tier in the expansion to be the hardest. But I do think it's important for each tier, like each progressive fight needs to follow
yes, that's important.
A steady progression of difficulty. And that's actually a really good point, because I think Xeno made that point earlier. The other tier that the difficulty curve was a problem was Sigma Skate. Was 5 and 6 were really, really easy, and then there was a huge jump to 7. So the problem you had in 7 was you had a lot of players who basically were not even close to being able to beat that fight, but they thought they were able to because they beat 5 and then they beat 6. So it's like, oh, we're making our way through this tier, and then they get to 7 and it's just like a huge reality check, and it's just like, you guys aren't remotely ready.
8, right? Yeah.
No, this was back in Sigma Skate.
No, in Sigma. So let me tell you.
This tier, it's 8, and then another jump to 8. But this tier, the jump from 5, 6, and 7 to 8 is just massive. So a lot of people go into Shiba thinking they're ready because they've beaten 7. It's like, well, 5, 6, and 7 were pretty easy. This shouldn't be that much harder, right?
So my story with Sigma is that I didn't really raid too much during that time, and I cleared the Phantom Train or whatever first, right? And then I did a little bit of prog through the next fight, and then I just got with a group that kind of knew what they were doing. I cleared the second fight. Third fight, I cleared in 5-7 pulls, not even watching a video once. Just, I was able to apparently do the tanking portion of that fight without even really knowing the fight because these other guys knew it, and that seemed weird to me. I feel like I would have to know more to clear that. And then we went and cleared the gate Kefka right afterwards, and it's like, all right, I'm done. And then I just stopped for the night because it was just weird. So I would say Sigma was, I don't know, man. It just
go
ahead.
Aside from turn 4 difficulty, they need to really reevaluate turn 3. They have been fucking up turn 3 for a while already.
Yeah.
Turn 3, okay, Omega kind of saved the grace a little bit, but since Guardian, right, aside from Omega itself, it's a final rate here, so luckily they bring it back a little bit. But since Guardian, and then after that, Leviathan, and then now the Idol of Darkness, they have been fucking up turn 3 for a while.
I don't know why.
Wait, okay, are they changing their philosophy? Because they said before, I'm pretty sure you know this, Frosty. They said before, turn 1 and turn 2 is supposed to be anybody should be able to do it. With enough time, anybody should be able to do it. Turn 1 might be because you have a lot of new players, first-time raiders, so maybe more people will try it, but lesser percentage will clear it, but overall more people will clear it. And then when you go into turn 2, it will be where people who clear turn 1 should be able to clear turn 2. Then you kind of feel like, hey, I can play savage. Turn 3 was supposed to be the reality check, like Box said. But this Eden's Gate and Edenverse, it didn't feel like that. And so they have been fucking up. Are they changing?
I think they're changing the person who makes the fights. So they have multiple people making these fights, and some disconnect happens there every single time. And I don't know.
Whoever made this raid tier needs to never make another raid tier.
Oh my
god! Stop.
Shiva,
I like Shiva, man.
No, this raid tier is the worst raid tier.
Oh my
This raid tier is literally the worst. In my opinion, it's the worst raid tier. Now, some people be like, "Well, what about Gordius? That was pretty bad too." No. Because here's why Gordius is better than this raid tier, because of Faust progression streams. I swear to God, man, there has never been more hype than when a party kills Faust on the server tick before he enrages for the first time. That shit was lit. Yo, that was lit. That was hype.
I was watching. Because I was in a casual group, so I only raid on Wednesday. So when server comes out on Tuesday, I'm like, fuck, I can't raid. Let me go to Twitch. Everybody was raiding on server up. Fuck, man. You know how many streams were stuck at Faust? This is the first raid here. Now, Savage should be like that. Now, obviously, putting a Faust like that in turn 1, I think could be too. Like, you want people, you want to sell a product, right? You want to sell Savage, you want the pucks to do Savage, right? To be honest, I think Faust was a little bit too unforgiving. If you were to put Faust like that, most people were like, what the fuck are we doing here?
I disagree.
Doing this fucking. Right? No. Listen.
Okay.
Let me finish. So, I think they shouldn't put it in there because it would be, wouldn't appeal. But what they really needed to do is that their Stone Sky Sea should be at least a requirement for people to go into Savage. Then maybe we wouldn't have that much cheater at the beginning. But again, that what requires them to totally reassess, totally rebalance their Stone Sky Sea, like properly understand like what you need to do. Because right now the Stone Sky Sea is kind of garbage. Doesn't really tell you anything.
No, they would have to they have to develop it properly.
They would have to redevelop it. Yeah,
I think.
Go ahead.
So when I said that this raid tier I thought was like the worst since ever, pretty much. I thought Gordius was pretty fucking bad, actually. I thought Gordius was awful. Like A1 was okay, but A2 was so bad, so fucking bad. A3 was fucking amazing, right? A3 one of the best turns ever. And then A4, the last half of the fight was pretty good, but the first half was A4 was man, it was just so terribly designed. But anyway, I think that this raid tier is like super fucking bad because of, one, the difficulty, like scaling, and because E8 is just too fucking hard for Party Finder. It's just too hard, man. It's too fucking hard. It's way too punishing. Can you imagine if Isolate and Light Rampant were swapped? So you had to do Light Rampant at the very end of the fight. Party Finder never clear. They would never clear. Never clear. It would never clear. Ever. Never clear that fight.
Plus the DPS check.
Nah.
So like it's a combination between, reason, like, so here's some other reasons why I don't like E8. One, the fucking cutscene, man.
Yeah.
Like the fact that people don't want door bosses. Like there are people out there, very, very sad, stupid people that think door bosses are bad. There's oh man. People actually thought that if we complained about door bosses, that they would make more content for the fight itself. People actually thought that. Yo, that's a keck W from me, brother, because you are one stupid motherfucker if you thought that by removing a door boss that they were going to put like more of the fight in there. All we got was a cutscene. We got a cutscene. That's what we got. The ads shouldn't be in E8 either. The ads shouldn't be there. They're a waste of fucking time. It's a waste of fucking time, man. The ads shouldn't even be in there. In my opinion, it's like putting the sand maze in fucking 03 Savage. Like the sand maze was such a waste of fucking time, man. Like in my opinion, the ads are a waste of time. Light ramp, it's too fucking hard, and the DPS check is too high for Party Finder. For Party Finder,
you know it's funny that Xeno bring it up because if any fight that requires a checkpoint, it is Shiva. After you go through the light rampant, all the shit that you go through, you shouldn't have to go through light rampant again. Because I think once you, whether it's 1 in 10 chances, because so many PF gives up the moment light rampant meme happen. You don't even get to try more. You can do it. Like, as long as it's 1 in 10 success rate, to be honest, in Party Finder, it's already considered, hell yeah, we got this. But because there's no door boss, most people feel like, oh god, light rampant all over again before we can get to the end of the fight. Most people give up. If any fight need a door boss, Shiva needed a door boss. And if Shiva had a door boss, then whatever I said earlier regarding Shiva being too forgiving, like, why is Shiva? I don't want to repeat it, but Shiva's second phase is just way too forgiving. Damage down, no depth. Get Chariot, no depth. Get Dynamo, no depth. Fail Mirror, no depth. Fail Knockback, no depth. Nothing kills you. If they actually had a door boss, then they could have made Shiva a little bit different already. It wouldn't be worthy of a final fight already. That's what I mean earlier. If they were to make a final fight with a door boss like that, like Omega MF. Omega MF itself is like half a fight. It's basically in the final tier of Omega, we had 4.5 turns. I still believe in final Omega we did have 4.5
female was
turns.
Awesome. That was an awesome fucking fight. That was awesome.
Yes, it is. Like, you know, the fire, the male female the cross pattern, and then fire into out, into gather, into out. That is an ultimate mechanic. That limit card itself, it's pretty fun. Now they can only do this thing because there is a checkpoint. So you go through 6 minutes of hard work checkpoint. You get another 1.5 hours or 1 hour in the lockout to learn the second phase. If anything, right, doing door bosses gives you more content. When they decided to listen to the community and not do any door bosses, they just go by a Titan transition. This time they go by a naked cutscene, right? What they did was that the second half suddenly have a stalemate. Like, we can all agree, Titan after the first phase, until the merry-go-round, that it's cool. You know, we have the up and down platform. It's cool that the platform disappeared, but it was so slow paced. It's the same for Shiva. Shiva's second phase, everything is recoverable. You can see you can see all the mechanics. Titan, all the way until the merry-go-round is a snooze veil, is one-dimensional, is one way of doing it. Like, if anything, right, no door boss actually make the middle part of a turn 4 actually become boring. Now I'm not sure whether you guys agree with me, but at least for this
if they added
here, this is how I feel.
If they created like a checkpoint in the fight of Shiva, it would need to be more difficult. They would have to do something else to it to make it
because
actually
you can do
but yeah.
You can do a first half climax and then checkpoint. So you go back down again. Then second half you go back up again. Right now all they do is they front load everything, and then there's a stalemate, and then it just like it's like there's the climax is not there because there's no door boss. It's the same for this tier ultimate, right? Leaving liquid, BJCC, everything is front loaded. After that, there's no healing. A healer suddenly just went from I'm fucking going crazy to I have nothing to heal. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like this is what they've been trying to do. Like, they want to make the fight long, but they kind of like keep a lot of less punishing stuff at the back. So I'm not sure how I feel. I feel like door boss is a nice,
Like 40 minutes ago, I was like, all right, what can we do to make 5.4 better? And we would go straight into boss design, and we would discuss boss design the entire time. But I mean, that is something we don't really have too much control over. What is something that we can control? Like, what can we do to make Party Finder better? And do we have no control over it? Can we not like put anything out there and say, hey guys, look, everyone force this mentality. Don't keep bad strats. Do weak one strats, but change it.
I think next raid tier. Well, I mean, I hope next raid tier people are going to be a little smarter because it's really just a mob mentality. It's really just a mob mentality. So people are just going to do, like, most people that play this game are sheep. They're sheep. You tell them to do something, and they do it. That's it. They don't question, oh, why do I need to do this? Why am I using True North when I should be using Boss Relative? They don't question it. They're sheep. So hopefully, because people suck ass at this raid tier, hopefully, people will question more. Okay, well, why exactly are we doing this again? Why exactly? Because I remember last raid tier when we did this and I didn't question it, things went really fucking bad. So hopefully that'll be the thing. But I mean, I don't think so. But hopefully,
I think so. I want to say like a True North thing, right? Because that's the big thing that we always complain about. True North affects like all the melee in the group, but if most of the group isn't melee, they want whatever's easier in their head. They don't want to have to think, right? And so that's, I think, where those battles become, oh, what's easy for me, and I'm going to force that upon everyone else. It's not like what's going to be easy for the other people in the group. And so I think we're still going to see that a lot. If we run into another True North situation, it's just going to be people will just force whatever is easy for them to think about.
I mean, True North boss relative is less of... It's not a big problem, to be honest. I think that one is more of preference. That one, I think, won't go away. Because it really depends on the fight and the role and the leader. Most True North party will, because the leader will range or healers. If you see a melee leader making True North, that guy is just straight up, like Xenosys, a sheep. He didn't think. Okay. I cheat you up. Most of the time it's range DPS that do it. Now, that one, I think True North boss relative is something that just it's common. It's very common. Like anti-clockwise, clockwise. How party want to rotate is the same. How party want to face. But I think that one is a 50-50. I think we all kind of like can prepare that will be, and we all knows how to adjust to it. I think Ilya though will be the biggest lesson the PF will learn this time. I don't think next time. I think next time they will be more cautious because it's the final. It's the final fight. And if DPS check is going to be hard like Shiva, I think they will think twice again. Because one of the reasons eventually Ilya become a meme is because people actually understand the strat is bad. I need uptime. The strat is bad. We need more damage. Why are we doing side uptime, knockback uptime, and then do Ilya? That's like 1 + 1 - 1. You know what I mean? So I think the next tier people will, go.
I don't think they will. I don't think you can change the nature of PF because I think people tend to latch on to this first strat that they learned, and that's what they'll keep doing. And you cannot change that, even though it's being memed, and even though maybe some people want to, like if the majority doesn't want to, then they won't. I think if we're gonna change it so that people are actually adopting good strats, then basically it's just up to somebody to develop those strats early enough and present it to the community in a really easy to understand way, easily accessible. Because that's the whole idea of PF, is to be accessible to people
No,
who
it
don't
is,
have
it is.
statics or people
But
who don't want to be in statics, right?
yeah, but
So,
that is because they picked that when they had two choices. They actually picked that. Most of us thought that they would pick Forsaken. Somehow they picked Ilya. Now, what I'm trying to say is next time when they have, I don't think till today, I don't think there has always been just one strat and people blindly follow. They usually pick one. What I'm saying is maybe next rate here, when they were presented this opportunity again, they will actually think twice again, and the
Okay,
front runner,
that's fair.
the front runner will pick a better one. That's what I mean.
Yeah,
Because I totally agree with
that
you.
makes
The
sense.
moment they pick the next one, I agree with you. They will stick to it.
They'll stick
But
to it, yeah.
what I'm hoping is that the next one they will actually assess better. This
We don't
time they
want
just don't
another
have any choice.
strat, right? Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Fair.
I
So
think
maybe this time they will.
I think to make that happen, though, people need to go in, and if they see a party finder and they're like, oh, they're doing bad strats, don't join it. Make a party finder with good strats, or join the one that has good strats, right? You have to actively be choosing this, and then people will go up and they're like, wow, there's fucking 5 strategies for Ayatori, or 5 parties up for Ayatori, but there's only one that's not even partially full with Ilya. Maybe I need to learn Ayatori so I can actually get this clear. So I think if people are just a little bit more proactive about just saying, hey, I'm not going to do those strats and try to stick to the better one when it matters. Of course, if it's like a little tiny thing that doesn't really fucking matter, don't like go crazy over it. But I mean, if it's like something as big of a difference as those 2 strategies, then you have to be proactively supporting the other strategy with your own clears, right?
Yeah, one of the so like okay, you guys remember 09 Chaos. Okay. So there was the whole DPS out shit. Or wait, which one was the bad one? DPS in? There was one
DPS
really
out, DPS out.
more forced downtime. Okay, so DPS out, I think.
DPS
Okay,
out,
well,
yeah.
okay, so there was DPS out, and then there was line strat. Okay, now line strat was not only way safer. Like you could have like 1 or 2 people dead and still complete the mechanic. So not only was line strat safer, but it also had more damage. But people didn't want to do it because they didn't want to change, like because it wasn't like the first. So like people really need to understand that like week 1, week 2, okay, we're all playing Among Us. Okay, you got dude putting up a week 1 guide. I'm watching you. You best sus. Week 3, okay, he done murdered like 90 million people. Vote him off. Vote him off. Get off the ship. Vote him off. That's the mentality that needs to be in 5.4. If you see a week 1 or week 2 strat, vote him off. Get him the fuck out. Get off my shit, bitch. Get out of here. That's the mentality. Because a week 1 strat, people put up, it's literally just to get you through the fight for that group. See, here's another thing too, is that some people that have shitty strats, okay, it works for their group because for whatever reason, their group is good at that or is decent at that. But a lot of people that doesn't work for a lot of Party Finder stuff. Like a lot of people in Party Finder, they can't just do any strat. Okay, they have to do one that is very simple. It requires the least lines of thinking, that type of shit. So like when people put up like a week 1 strat, it's based on that static specific like makeup and comp or whatever. You know what I mean? So like maybe they're doing something, like maybe they're putting extra responsibility on 3 or 4 players because those players are the best of the group. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like maybe that group is composed of like, 5 amazing players, 2 average players, and 1 shitty player. Okay, well, they're going to dump all the responsibility on the good players, right? They're not going to put the responsibility on the shitty player, you know what I mean? Because then they'll be wiping forever, okay? So, like, you have to keep that in mind, too, is like the week 1, week 2 strats are going to be questionable. They're going to be like, maybe I should take this with a grain of salt kind of thing, Mm-hmm. Because normally normally when you have a week 1 strat or a prog strat, it's literally just to get you through the fight. Like the group isn't thinking about, the group isn't thinking, oh, how is this going to work in Party Finder? They're thinking about how is this going to get us through the fight? Us. We don't give a shit about any other group. How's this going to get us? Yeah. Then they go back later, maybe a week, maybe 2 weeks, they iron it out and they completely change almost everything they do. But because Party Finder's stupid, they're still using the original. You know what I'm saying? They're still using the original one. So it's like when these strats come out, Party Finder doesn't like adapt or evolve with these strategies. They just, it's the first one out. We're doing it forever. It's the first one. It has to be the perfect one. If it's the first, it's the perfect one. That's how it goes. When actually it's the fucking opposite. But people don't realize that. So hopefully going forward, more people will start to think, okay, maybe this week 1 shit is really bad. Maybe we should change it. We're not really clearing the fight like consistently. We're not learning. The strat is really bad. There's a lot of downtime, you know. So maybe we should change it. So hopefully people do that in 5.4.
So
hopefully.
I think we've been hitting it a lot, but I think in the idea of this is that we need to we can't control everybody. We're not going to say, hey, everybody should act this way, because there's no fucking way we could do it. But us, here, people watching this stream right now, the people on the stream, everything else, we can support positive attitudes going forward. And we can say, hey, look, no, I'm going to do this strat. If I just won't join this group if they're doing this other strat, because I know I shouldn't support that for the community. Like, we have to be proactive on ourselves, because we can only control, you know, our own mindset and what's within our sphere. We can't control. There's like, I don't know, 50 people who watch this show. There's like 500,000 million people who play Final Fantasy 14. So we can just push out from that, right? So we're not going to control the random person over there who wants to do Ilya.
The best way to control it or to have some sort of agency on this issue is to, if you want people to be able to change strats midway, then you have to make those strats like readily available, because a lot of people don't know the strat, so they would rather go with the strat that they're familiar with, right? But I think if the content's out there, if there's a central place where they can, you know, learn about this new strat, that combined with, I think, getting out, you know, a more thoughtful strat early on, if the community can manage those two things, then basically you'll solve the issue that you're having, you know, with everyone's doing week 1 strats for, you know, the rest of the time.
That puts a lot of weight on shoulders of people like Xeno, who's like, all right, I cleared it. Fuck, I got to produce a video right now. I got to do this, and I have to fully analyze it, because then Xeno will come out with a strategy, and it will be a good strategy. Someone else will find a trick that's better, and his guide's already out there, and everybody's doing the fucking Xeno strat instead of like all this other stuff. But I mean, Xeno's not doing that strat anymore. It was a really good strat when he put a lot of work into it, but then like somehow it got figured out later on.
That's why the PM become trash. It's his fault. It's his fault.
Hey, yo, no. I never made a video unless I was 100% confident in the strat that was in the video. I'm retired now. I'm retired now. But these content creators, talking to you,
look,
you have responsibility, okay? These motherfuckers are sheep. Regardless if you think they're sheep or not, they're sheep. You tell them to do something, they're going to do it. I know, because when I fucking made a video, people did it. But I'm retired.
But, you know, that's also the same thing as saying, like, hey, you have the responsibility to promote positive mentality in your stream.
Oh, that's completely different. That's completely fucking different, because my stream isn't a guide. My stream isn't a guide instructing someone. This is a video instructing someone. This is a video saying, hey, this is how you do this. This is how you should do this. Mm-hmm. That the stream is completely different. Whereas, like, if you know, now, content creators know their strategies are bad. They know. I know that you know. Okay? You ain't fooling me. All right? I know. Now, when you put out a fucking strat that's bad and you know it,
but what if you don't know it? What if you're just like, this is the strat I know?
No. They know.
Okay.
They know. Okay. They see them views. And they get them hyper eyes. And they get the hyper eyes. Got to get them views. So that's why they don't care. And hey, man,
they're not trying to make a good strat. They're trying to make the first guide. They're trying to put the first guide on YouTube. So
if you ain't first, you're last, brother.
I mean, and that's fine.
First, you're last.
I mean, and that's fine, but I don't think the responsibility falls to them to have the perfect strategy out. They have a strategy like, this is what I'm producing. My strategy is to get it out as quickly as possible, so people who want to clear it, this is what I know, this is what people know right now to clear it, so it's here. You can do it. They're not going to go back and delete it later.
No,
right?
Don't misunderstand me. I'm not shitting on them for doing that. Mm-hmm. Because as a business decision, that's what you should do. If you want views, that's what you should do. You should put up any trash that you can just to get views, because you know people will watch it. It's not about the quality, it's about the views. That's fine. I understand it. I totally get it. But what I'm saying is that as a content creator, okay, mm-hmm. you do have influence. You do have influence over this shit. People are going to listen to you. So if you put up a shit fucking video, don't get mad when people are fucking shitting on it because it's bad. Because you chose this. You chose views over quality. So don't get fucking mad, you know? But it is what it is, because because as a business decision, it makes sense. Now, when I make guides, I never put them up for like revenue purposes, because let me tell you, YouTube doesn't give you shit. Like you get a fraction of a penny for every fucking view or some shit. It's just there's just no point. Well, for me, obviously other people make much more than me. Mm-hmm. I don't make anything off YouTube. But
I don't either. Yeah.
Yeah. So obviously it's different for other people because like my career is on Twitch, where other people, their career is on YouTube. It's whatever, it's whatever. But I never had that mentality. But if I was going for just views, I would put up any fucking garbage I could, just because that's the point. So I get it both, so I can see it both sides, because it's not like it just depends on your mentality. Like, what are you trying to accomplish? Do you want views or do you want quality? It's just the mentality. But it's not all the content creators' fault. It's also Party Finder's fault for choosing to adopt these strategies that they know are bad. Mm-hmm. They know that they're bad, but they just do them because they're fucking sheep. Because they don't think about it, because they're like, oh, well, I'm not going to get a clear if I don't do what everybody else is doing. Mm-hmm. And then you go on Party Finder, and then the group that you're worried about, like, oh, if I don't do this exactly how they tell me, I'm going to get kicked. I won't be able to find a group. They're not clearing either. So what does it matter if you do the better strategy and not clear versus doing the shit strategy and not clear? You're not clearing either way. At least your chance of success is higher with the better strategy.
Well, so I mean, let
me just say,
Arthars, yeah, go ahead.
Let me just say though, if it makes you guys feel any better, JPs are in exact same situation with you guys, except a little bit of different. JP have no content creators that makes guide consistently, none. There are some that do, like Amaya, there are some people that do blogs in their blogs, which sometimes the JP just copy their macro, but most of the time, they do not have the luxury like NAs or you guys have when you have multiple content creators, which, like Xenosys said, could also be a problem, but JP doesn't have that luxury. JP sometimes just also blindly like sheep. So if it makes you guys feel any better, JP are no different. They also just follow people. JP does Ayatori. JP don't do side up time. JP don't do mirror knockback. So what? So NA do Ilya, but do mirror knockback and do side up time. So it's like, you guys think the grass is greener on the other side. Let me tell you it's not. And let me give you the proof it's not. For like the past few months, when I go to PF, I go on my alt to have fun, because my main is on NA, right? So my alt is on JP, right? So obviously my alt is not like, I didn't like really give a fuck about, because there's no ultimate. So I really didn't give a fuck about gearing my alt. So my alt is like item level 495, 497, 498, right? The JP PF for Shiva, they all pulled up item level 499. That's how hard the DPS check is, even for JP, that they have to enforce item level 499. I shit you not. Go and watch some of my JP VOD. It's crazy. They themselves can't handle it. Even they do the better strat, they can't handle it. Now, they don't have content creator. We go back to Alphascape, Hello World. Where Haru Glory first, when they came out with a bang, they were when One Ace came out, they were streaming Omega, right? That's where they suddenly came into the picture. They have a lot of views, right? Let me tell you, during that time, every JP Park uses the One Ace, Haru Glory, Halo Wolf Shred. It was so fucking bad. Everybody hated it, but they all did it anyway. You know why? Because there's no content creators. And Haru Glory happened to be the guy during that time, 5,000 viewers, all the GP were watching, they all use it. So I know Haru Glory, right? I mean, he's FC in Gaia. So I always tell during the time, I ask Haru Glory, why the fuck did you guys do this shred? Now the parks are doing this shred. You know what Haru Glory told me? I feel really bad. I apologize. Being streaming and getting so much traction and people is doing our shred. We don't even use this shit shred anymore. But all the JP are using it. Whenever I go into parks, when I don't play my static, when our static already use a better strat, when I go to park, we have to be reminded how bad this strat is, and we feel bad that the parks are using it. That's how bad Haru Glory feel when he was the content creator that people follow his guy. That's how bad he feel. Now, on NA, you guys got too many. On JP, they only have one. You know, hopefully both data center will finally find a balance. But hey, NA could finally take the lead because I think NA, as bad as this Shiva tier is, I actually feel that NAs are getting better at the game. They really are. And don't let the number fools you this time. My own experience, right? NA PFs, NA static, they are getting ahead already. Give it 1 or 2 more expansion. I think NA will be better than GP. I'm seeing it already. So make good choices. Next rated and Xeno, please fucking make a guy. Yeah.
Bach, did you want to do any devil's advocate or anything or add anything into that? No? Okay.
No.
So I'll do my devil's advocate real quick.
I've seen the JP strats. Arthars isn't lying, man. Some of the strats are straight up trash.
Yeah.
Have you seen Forsaken 2? Holy shit. Forsaken 2 is a PTSD for me, man. My fucking god, dude.
Oh, that was the worst.
So I think when we start talking about strategies and all this other stuff, I think it happens at a point of, hey, this is what I know that's best. And I've seen a lot of guys now, and they start out, they're like, this is fucking week 1. Look, this guide, I'm making this right now because I want to make content, but this is week 1. Don't follow this. It will be better later on. And they're putting all these disclaimers in front of it, but it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, it's like we can't make content until we know it's perfect because later on, someone's going to find something better and then shit all over that content. And I feel like that's a bad situation to be in. I think people should just say, hey, this is how we did it, which I think is exactly how Alatori went. They were like, hey, I cleared it. Let me make a video for 2 hours, and I'm just going to talk about it, bit by bit, and this is how we did it. And they took it as a guide instead of, hey, this is my week 1. This is what we did. Let's all fucking stick to it because this is the only thing that's out, and it turned into the situation we're dealing with now.
Well, as I was saying earlier, it's not all the content creators' fault.
Yeah.
It's not. It's actually mostly Party Finder's fault.
I think
it's mostly Party Finder's fault because the content creator, they're just trying to put up videos. Their reason doesn't matter. They're trying to do quality, cool. They're trying to do views, cool. Doesn't matter. Both are fine. But it's the people that use that information. If it's good information, great. If it's bad information, probably shouldn't use it. So it's mostly Party Finder. It's not necessarily the content creator. It's mostly people in Party Finder just choosing to accept it. This was the first one. We're not going to think about another one because all the other ones are probably wrong because it wasn't the first one. When actually it's the opposite because usually the ones that come later are way fucking better.
It's science, right? Science develops things. We get smarter. We develop things that are better. It's not always, going to be the first thing that comes out. It's just like Bach was saying, the airplane and the wheel, the caveman, dude. So fucking caveman's going to get shit on for the rest of his life because he did something he thought was good.
I also want to give Party Finder a little bit of credit, though, but there are people that tried. Xeno obviously tried. Xeno put up his strap. But there are also people that, didn't have access to Xeno's material and or watch his stream, to know the U bracket time strat, you know what I mean? There are people that actually try to do Ayatori in parks. I've seen it. I try my best to sometimes, okay, if there's an Ayatori, I'm going in. I want to see, I want to enforce, I want to support, I want to help. But it's just not enough people, man. Just not enough people. Maybe too late, but there was just not enough people wanting to change. Hopefully, that was like, I don't know, that's already like week 10 already, so I can understand why people don't want to change. But hey, if the earlier, people start trying different strat, hopefully next rate tier 5.4. Last rate tier, do you guys want to suffer like you did in 5.2? Hopefully not. So hopefully, yeah, make better choices, man. Make better choices.
So
yeah.
the fall we've talked a lot about like strategies and people evolving and trying to get better, like in a way of using better strategies and content creators and the difficult. Is there anything else besides this little discussion of what we're talking about that people could do to be better going into 5.4? Is there any other issues that we're running into with Party Finder that people need to figure out and get fixed?
Basics, please melt your gear. Basics. If you so don't go in with empty slots, please. Like even if you buy crafted, okay, don't go in with 410. Don't go in with 510. The next rate here, I assume it's 510. I don't know. Okay, whatever. Don't go into the next rate here even with crafted gear and not put material in, please. Even if you don't have money, please buy grade 6. Right? It's gonna be at least 500 substats, please. Basic. Please learn your dummy rotation, basic. You know, some of these things. I mean, we talk about strat, we talk about you know, joining practice group, we talk about patience, but pre-preparation, man, please. I know the game doesn't do the, like I said earlier, they don't have a Faust or they don't have a Stone Sky Sea for you to you properly evaluate you, or most people don't even give a fuck because it's not a requirement. But please, at least proper gear, proper melts, dummy rotation. Dummy rotation will give you above average DPS. It's already out there already. You don't need to make your own. There's already amazing content creators out there that already put chart on Reddit. Yeah, even Reddit. Yeah, even Reddit have fucking opener. There's no reason why you don't have it. All right. As shitty as some Discord core balance have shit people in there, but they have proper material. You don't have to make your own. You don't have to think your own. You don't have to learn your own. Do a dummy rotation. Spend 30 minutes, mash dummy, get your gear melt properly. You didn't buy the current crafted gear. At least you go into the first turn with beast for the previous tier, and please, I can't enforce it, say enough. Please melt your gear. I've seen too many people not even having melts already. That drives me crazy. So yeah.
Yo,
that's the most important thing I feel I need to say.
In the Party Finder, something that really fucking triggers me, man, really triggers me, is 4%.
Oh.
In the Party Finder. Now, Square Enix can completely fix this. Okay, in the Party Finder, you have 4 DPS. One of those slots should be a melee. One of those slots should be a ranged. One of those slots should be a caster. In the last slot, whatever the fuck you want. People don't know about the 5%. The 5% is 1 extra percent above 4%. That's a free 1%. And people will wipe to enrage and they only have 4%. And they're like, oh, I wonder why we died. I wonder why we didn't have enough damage.
I think it was that damage down that somebody got, and I think this guy didn't use food. That was the only reason.
I mean, honestly, those are things, but yeah.
Never to things like that. They don't think like that.
If you're in a fucking party with 4%, leave. Fuck them. Fuck them. They're all stupid.
The way to enforce, yes.
There's a reason why.
Square should have the default DPS is just 1 melee, 1 range, 1 caster, and then 1 of anything. It should just default it to that. It shouldn't be 4 of anything. What the fuck? Did they even think about that?
They steered us into this direction with that 5% rule, and then they don't even enforce it like by default. In their own party.
The default should enforce it.
That is dumb.
They obviously, like Box says, they obviously do this because they want you to create that diversity. But people don't do that. Now, okay, again, we can't fully blame the Party Finder, but you need to be aware of that. Like Xeno said, a lot of people don't even know that. And some party leader actually tells me, why do we need 4%? It's harder to fill party. No, because when more people are aware about this 5%, which most people are, because you know a lot of us have been saying over it already, right? Especially Xeno, every single time there's no 5%, Xeno is always first people leave. I mean, he will type something, dear leader, but otherwise, a lot of us are aware already. So your theory of, well, if we put strictly 5% comp, people might not join, it takes longer to fill. No, on the contrary, because more people are aware of this, less people will actually join your group.
Yeah, people won't join a group like this guy doesn't know how to make a party. I'm not joining this group. That's the reason why.
You don't have Xeno in your group already. That's one big fucking cannon that you have gotten.
Yeah.
Right?
I guess my question against that would be just, what if you're just learning it? Like you're just starting at phase 1 stuff. Do you still care about it?
Well, yeah, you always care about it for the bit. Just for the vit, the
But
basic
you
vit.
should start to practice. Yeah, you should start to drill it into your brain already. Like,
Like there is absolutely no reason to not have 5%. No fucking reason. Can't fucking change my mind. Can't change it. There's no reason to not have 5%.
Okay.
No reason. No reason in existence. You cannot change my mind.
Okay. I mean, that's fair. No, I get you. All right. So those are little things that we can say we encourage. And so how do we encourage that with people we don't know? Is there any way to like encourage that with people who may not watch the show or just people we run into in the game? Or do we still have to be dead silent?
tell them.
Well, whenever I join a party without 5%, I'm like, oh, haha, looks like we don't have 5% XD. Good luck. Good luck, guys. And then I leave. I just fucking leave.
Okay.
Because fuck them, dude. I'm not joining that shit. You kidding me, dude? I'm not joining that shit.
Okay, Bach, what were you saying? Sorry.
Sorry. I thought we were talking about what tips to get by.
Yeah.
In Pathfinder.
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to say, don't bring your fucking baggage from the last group into your new group. I see that happen all the time, where people are just like, I'm so triggered by the last group. The last group is like, I've been failing in groups all day, right? I don't want to put up with this shit. Like, holy shit, man. If the groups that you've been in today have been so bad and put you in such a mental state that you cannot handle, like, a struggle in this group, then you need to take a break. You need to get up, get away from your computer, go take a walk. If you're gonna go outside, put on a mask. I'm just kidding.
No, don't be kidding. Yeah, no.
But seriously, like I find that people basically they bring their baggage from other groups into the new group, and that doesn't do you any good. And it doesn't do them any good because they can handle a struggle. What they can't handle is like some fucking salt mine getting salty at like every single mistake that people are making. And I think that puts more of a damper in the group than like someone making a couple of mistakes, right?
Yeah, I agree. Your personality when you go in there. It's very easy to be just like, what the fuck is wrong with? But if you start that tension, the group's done, right?
Yeah,
if you start like that shit, it's done. You're not going to make
new group, new you. Like you need to go in with fresh mentality. Yeah, it resets. Like yes, you wasted your time, right? But that is time you should already be planned to be wasting already. When you come back home and you want a PF, you should already know these are. Have some patience, have some, what is the English word? Like, have some preparation that you are in for, right? You're not going to always come in and one shot. You're not always going to get a lucky. Mm-hmm. If you one shot, it's luck. It's not because the group is good. Yeah, expectation. Thank you. Yeah, I'm sorry. I suddenly just,
It's fine.
Just make sure you go in. Like, there's a reason why the duty timer is 90 minutes. There's a reason why extreme is 60 minutes. You are supposed to assume, and the other people in your group should also be assuming that people that goes in are in for that time. You have that time, that's why you go in. You have that time, that's why you join PF. Like Zeno said earlier in the show, if you don't have that time, you find a casual static. You don't have the time, don't queue. And like Box says, if you go through a bad patch in the previous party, like new party, new you, man, like just.
I want to put a little asterisk note on that. That's absolutely true when you're talking about like Savage content and progging through it. But if you're trying to keep me the whole time in a dungeon finder or like a duty, like just a regular dungeon, I'm not going to spend 90 minutes in a 4-man dungeon.
Oh, okay. That would
but when it's like Savage.
Yeah. No way, right?
Yeah.
No way, right? Dungeon, 90 minutes? What the?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Really?
People make that argument about dungeons, but it's different for Savage, I would say. You definitely have to, like in your life, you have to say, all right, I'm going to dedicate the next hour to this, and this is what I'm going to do, or the next whatever. It's not, I'm going to get in there and clear. I'm going to try real quick. Oh, let me see if I can sneak into a party, get a quick clear. You're just going to be pissed off most of the time. All right. Do we got anything else that we want to tell people? And like, again, if we can be smart about how you communicate with other people in Final Fantasy, Don't like just go in there and shit all over them and think it's going to be okay. Even though we may shit on them a lot right now, we may shit them a lot on streams and stuff. It doesn't work that well in game. Sometimes you get away with it, like Arthars' friend. But eventually it could catch up to you. When you were talking about your friend earlier,
Yeah.
But we should push this mentality, out there and just kind of promote that positively within the community. If there's a way to do that, but all right, you guys have anything else you want to tell people? No.
Make sure you have 5% in your groups.
All right, hold on.
Please be open to change. As the tier progresses, be open to changing the strategy.
Okay. Let's see. I'm going to do this real quick. I'm going to see if there's any good questions on that in chat, and then we'll get I mean, we've already been going for like 2 hours. I didn't realize that. I never do. I listen to Arthars, and that's like maybe, 20% of the show is like has gone by off one rant with Arthars. Are you guys ready?
I like how I tell you... Yep, I thought I was like, I have such a good day today. I thought we end on this one, and then I saw that we have raid later. Oh, God.
When do you guys raid?
In less than
2
2
hours.
No, 2 hours and 15 minutes.
2 hours and 15 minutes. Nice.
Doing Arthur's favorite fight.
Oh God.
Wait, what are you guys doing?
We're doing Uwu.
Oh.
Arthur hates that fight so much he
You agree
purposely
with this?
kills himself so he doesn't have to do jails.
Oh.
Oh, Jesus.
I'm sorry, man. It's the last day of it, dude. It's the last day of it.
You guys are just practicing for Prague?
No, this is just a
This is
side
a
group.
separate group.
It's just a fun
okay.
side group because the fucking content drought is ridiculous. And I tried playing WoW and I couldn't play it, so I'm like, man, fuck it. I want to do something else in this game.
Damn.
You're really not gonna play, right? You're really not gonna play Shadowlands, right?
No, it's not my thing.
I mean, I'm not either, but a lot of people are doing a cross between the two games, and the raid comes out for Shadowlands right after, the week after,
No, the same. It's the same.
No, it's the week after. Is it?
I mean, a week after is Mythic, yeah, but Heroic and Normal is exactly the same day as 5.4.
Jeez. All right, so here's a question from Sierra. If we talk about how E8S is not too hard as a fight, but is too hard for Party Finder, how would each of you go about designing a fight that is both accessible enough for Party Finder, but difficult enough for statics?
Well, I mean, it would just. I mean, you're not. I mean, it just depends because each static is going to be different. I actually disagree with E8 not being too hard for statics because some statics it's too hard for. Some statics is more of a casual static, and all of us, every single one of us, chat, all of us, we all know somebody that's in a static that is worse than Party Finder. All of us do. It happens because those players, they just want to play with a specific group, and that's fine. So I just thought E8S in general was just too hard. It was too hard for Party Finder, which means that it was too hard for the groups or the statics that are worse than Party Finder. It happens. They're not playing the game to be super fucking good. They're playing to have fun. That's totally fine,
Mm-hmm.
But you can't design a fight that's going to work for that and for statics. It's not going to happen. So that's why you have two different tiers. You have Savage, which is for the majority of statics and a majority of Party Finder. And then you have Ultimate, which is for statics. Now, I understand you can Party Finder some of this shit. I understand. But it's geared for, it's designed for static-based stuff, because you're not seeing pugs clear this shit week 1 and 2 of this coming out. You know what I mean? It's not going to fucking happen, man. At least consistently, not like Savage. So that's why there's two different tiers there. There's Ultimate and then there's fucking Savage. So I don't think you can design a fight that's going to cater for both the super, super good players and Party Finder. It would be a whole other class of fights. So I don't think you could do it, but I mean, maybe I'm wrong.
Okay. We have another question. They're coming out swinging. This is from the Bald Man. For Xeno, any plans to grow some hair in the future?
I actually just shaved my head.
Oh, okay.
Last night I shaved it.
It looks fresh, man. That is a clean cut, dude.
It's fresh as fuck. You got to wear sunglasses so you don't fucking blind yourself on the reflection of my head.
Nice. All right. Let's see. I think this is a little bit more serious of a question. Would you guys like to see harder fights, maybe a separate difficulty outside Savage, above Savage, but outside of Ultimates? Or are we just in a good spot right now for Final Fantasy?
I mean, that'd be more content. That'd be lit. That'd be lit.
More content's good, but I don't think no one's gonna say no to more content, but I don't think there's a demand for that because I think the next step after Savage is Ultimate, and I don't think Ultimate's really that much harder than Savage, to be perfectly honest with you.
Ultimate is just time.
Yeah, it's just time.
Yeah. That's a lot of time.
But I think that the progression from, I think they can tweak some of the difficulty in within the Savage fights, but I think the current structure that they have is perfectly fine.
Okay. Yeah, I think they need Savage Dungeons, man. Savage Dungeons would be perfect for this game because it'd be a nice it'd be a nice horizontal. It would accomplish so many things. It would make some of the dungeons in this game are really fucking cool. Actually, now I know they're really easy. But I'm not trying to say they're hard. I'm trying to say that they're really cool aesthetically, and some of them have really cool mechanics. Yo, that broom mechanic in that one dungeon. Yeah. Fucking impossible to dodge those brooms, dude. People think extra flares are hard, dude. You ever tried dodging a broom? Dodging those brooms is so fucking hard, man. Extra flares are easy compared to the brooms.
It's true.
Imagine if those brooms killed you. Now, you know what? Fuck it. Let's take it a step further. Imagine if those brooms, if you hit one of those brooms, it blew up and wiped the raid or wiped the group. Holy shit! That would be that would be an intense boss fight.
Yeah, basically, Savage Dungeons. But I also feel like this game has been so long. We are going to 6.0 already. Everything is same old. Right now, they are just bringing one or two content. When they introduced Diadem, they remake it into Eureka. Now they remake it into Borgia. It's the same. It's just they remake it better now. Great. But for Savage, since we are talking about PF Savage, I really think it is time for a 5th turn already. Now, if you don't want to do a 5th turn, bring back Door Boss. Make it like Omega MF. 4.5 fight. I feel like we are being discounted right now a little bit. Now, Ultimate, you might say, oh, but you got Ultimate. Yeah, but Ultimate, we are going to the 4th one already. And guess what? We are getting 2. There is so many things they need to do. They don't have to do them all. They just have to do one more. For example, hey, if you do one more primal, which they did, but kind of irrelevant, I would say I would prefer either Door Boss a 0.55 or I think a 5th turn should be there already. Or third Ultimate. Yeah. Funny, maybe I'm going to spend the next 3 minutes talking about something that is not maybe relevant, but
okay.
Dude, putting Ultimate in 5.5, initially we all thought it's good. After I go through all the UCOP and UU thing that we done in static and in my static in these 2 years, right? Fucking hell, man, putting Ultimate in 5.5 is actually bad. Because, dude, on the development standpoint, you're going to be balancing 5.5 for your Ultimate for 3, 4, 5, 6 months. And then in 6.0, you have a level increase. And then you have to retune it. So you tune it for 5.5. And then 6.0, which is coming immediately, you have to tune it again to downsync it. And we all know they did a fucking bad job downsyncing. Just look at UCOP and UU. How bad they can't balance it properly. It's such a fucking joke. Now, for static who are serious, or people who don't have that much time like hardcore, and you find a mid-core or you play with friends, you only got a short window before this content becomes easier and like UCOP and UU, they become like dog shit, untuned. Or they might not tune your job properly. So, and then for Square Enix standpoint, we spend time on a tight timeline to balance it, and then in 6.0 we have to balance again, and then 6.1 we have another Ultimate. So I actually think I feel like, and also this COVID situation, I really think that they will consider this, and yeah, I think this Ultimate, I'm very worried. I got a bad feeling about this Ultimate. It's gonna be bad. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
All right.
Yeah.
Don't say that, man. I hope this Ultimate's gonna be awesome.
I hope in the future,
man.
Wrong time.
Just to kind of add on to what you said, Arthur, is the scaling doesn't work. I hope they give the Unreal treatment to Ultimates in the future, because it's not like I understand why they scale us down. It's because some players are still working through the older expansions, and they just need a party to fill to do it. So when you queue up for Trial Roulette, you might do a level 60 trial at level 60, even though you're level 80, right? But with Ultimates, it's just it's not like there's somebody who hasn't gotten to Shadowbringers yet, and it's like, oh, I really want to do UCOB, right? So So I think if Ultimates in the future, if they gave it the Unreal treatment and scaled it up to the max level rather than scale less down, Ultimates would be like the best place to do that.
Dude, that'd be so awesome to redo an Ultimate at level 80, man, and have imagine doing UCOB and not being able to fucking tank LB everything, dude.
Not just Ultimate. Before we get to Ultimate, they are still working on Primal. Savage. If they actually make Savage, every odd patch, they make a whole series, like when a total tier. Let's just say in 6.1, we don't get Ultimate. For example, okay, you see, I'm not trying to be unrealistic, right? I'm trying to, Square Enix might be lazy. Maybe they want to save costs. Fine. Let's just say they want to do only 2 Ultimate. Fine. Like 5.3, we don't have anything, right? Let's just say they do a first coil of Bahamut Unreal. That alone, right, would have been great content. How many people haven't done it before? How many of us want to do it in level 80? It's gonna be so good, man. Now, I hope this Unreal thingy is a start. Yeah.
Yo, you remember, fucking Twintania, dude. A boss never hits you as hard as Twintania. Okay? You got death sentence every 30 seconds with a plummet and an auto attack. You know how much damage that was, dude?
Yeah.
You know how much damage that was? Every 30 seconds. I remember I had a death sentence macro. Every time she cast it, boop, hit the macro so I could be ready for it. That shit was real.
I have stone skin on my paladin cast on the main tank.
Dude, no, I swear, man, no boss hit as hard as Twintania did. The fucking T5, dude. She hit you so hard.
Yeah.
She hit you so hard that every 30 seconds you needed like a macro to know that fucking damage was coming. That doesn't include like the auto attacks in between either.
All right. So I guess this is a question here for Arthas. If I sub with Twitch Prime, will I have a better chance of clearing Party Finder?
I mean, if you sub with Twitch Prime to my channel, you get exclusive access to Arthars Con. And in here, we don't just do like random stuff, right? We have like free drinks, we have free nuggets, we got waifu serving you. You know, you're set up in like a gaming environment. You get the best peripherals from Corsair, Elgato. Of course, you have a better chance of clearing. Some people play with 60 FPS monitor, CRT monitors. At Arthars Con, we run BenQ Zowie XL2546, 240 Hertz, right? Dynamic accuracy. Holy shit, man. You see the puddles before they even appear. Yeah, you will get a better chance, yeah.
Okay. That's good. I think that's a good note to end it off on. This has been a pretty good conversation. I mean, I feel like we finally got to hash out a lot of this stuff. And I'm actually interested in how everything does turn out. So we'll see how everything in a couple of months ends up with Party Finder. Maybe we'll revisit this in like fucking January, February, and see what actually happened. But you guys ready for the new Savage?
It's gonna be fun as fuck.
Dude, it's
gonna be fun as fuck.
I really can't wait. Holy shit.
Oh, jeez. It's been so long, man. It's been so long. But anyways, let's go ahead and do our closing statements here, and I'll just have you guys say whatever you want to say, and then tell people where they can find you and everything. And I'll go clockwise again with Xeno, if you don't mind, Xeno.
I stream twitch.tv/XenosysVex. I actually, my YouTube channel also is, I upload almost everything to YouTube now because Twitch is going through all this DMCA shit. So if you want to watch a VOD, you do not have to sub to me to watch a VOD. Well, okay. If you want to watch a VOD on Twitch, you have to sub to me. But if you want to watch VOD, you do not have to sub. You can just check out my YouTube channel, which everything is free on there. Shout out to Twitch chat, man. Shout out to Twitch chat.
Yeah.
I love Twitch chat. Mm-hmm.
They're the reason why Twitch succeeds.
Mm-hmm.
Without them,
I'm gonna get Twitch chat add-on permanently implanted on my peripheral vision, so that I can experience that off stream as well.
Okay.
Yep.
All right, Arthas.
Twitch.tv/Arthars. These 2 months haven't really been playing a lot of Final Fantasy, which is intended because, I mean, Final Fantasy 14 is my favorite game. It's also a lot of reason. It's the main reason why you guys watch me. But of course, you know, there's just so many you can do, right? But I also appreciate the fact that, you know, as my for my Twitch chat and my community, you know, some of you, you know, when I check out when I play Final Fantasy 14 with my static here and there, yes, you know, maybe, you know, static stuff can be boring and stuff, but, you know, glad that you guys still tune in. When I try out Genshin Impact and WoW this period, you know, doing some variety, you know, you guys still hang around, kind of like, even though my main fun is always gonna be in Final Fantasy 14, my main joy is always gonna be like hanging out with you guys, but you know, sometimes being selfish a little bit, you know, venturing out a little bit, try something different a little bit, but you guys still stuck with me. And hey, 5.4 is around the corner. I'm pretty sure we all be back. One whole Twitch family, Final Fantasy 14 is gonna be back. So yeah, man, I hope to see you guys in 5.4. Hang in tight. I know we have been doing this for like 8-9 months already, but holy shit, man, it's around the corner, man. Yeah.
Okay. And then Bach, you want to finish it up?
Yeah, sure. Yeah. Well, I'm back. Took a break for a long time, but thanks to these guys here, they actually pulled me out of retirement. And before long, I'm going to be streaming again. So you can catch that on twitch.tv/BokChoyKN. And yeah, going to be fun. But yeah, huge shout outs to my static. They're the reason I'm playing again. So and I'm supposed to give a special shout out to one of our healers. I was supposed to shout out Mel because I'm not sure if he likes us very much, but he said that if we don't shout him out, he's going to be pretty upset. So,
well,
yeah.
He has no reason to be upset anymore now. So,
yeah, I hope so.
And I want you guys all to stick around. I do have some stuff after the show. I have a video I want you all to watch. So hold tight because there's some stuff I want you to see. And then we'll do a host shortly after. I mean, just stick through it. Just stick through it. We got some stuff that's pretty cool I want you all to see. But guys, this has been a wonderful show. I do want to do my own shout-outs here. Personally, first off, shout out to all the guests, Xeno, Arthars, Bach, for being such fucking amazing people. A huge part of MogTalk coming on and having this show that was, to me, wonderful. And I look forward to having more Party Finder discussions or other discussions later in the future with you guys. I also want to do a shout out to my wife, Kerr, who puts up with me doing this every single week or every other week. And a shout out to all the mods in chat, kind of taking care of everything for me. Shout out to all the people on Patreon, people who support through the stream, everything else. And also, we have some pretty cool stuff coming up in the future. Next week, of course, we're probably going to talk about the live letter because it's a live letter. It's the day after the live letter. There's no reason to talk about it. And let me see if there's anything else. Nope. I just want you guys to watch this video. It's very worked a little bit hard on it. So and shout out to Uni from Faye's Temperance for actually making that. So guys, hang tight and have a wonderful time until next week. Bye guys. Everybody wave. Say bye. You guys didn't even say it.
Bye.
Bye.
Not on my future. Our future. I want to see what tomorrow will bring. Damn it all! Enough of this! Power of darkness, answer my call!
Thank you for watching that video. You know, I'm assuming you thought you'd watch that and that would be it, but it is not. No. I have more stuff. I want to go into detail about that video. I'm going to use my Patreon video to do that. So thank you everyone who supported on Patreon because this is going to be part of the video now. So we are doing a fairly large grassroots stream covering the world race as soon as the patch gets released for a charity called Child's Play. They provide video games, and technology for children in hospitals and victims of domestic abuse just around the world. We have a lot of people coming together to make it happen, such as people from Faye's Temperance and the Ethernet community. They're bringing in a lot of people and resources to help hopefully raise a decent amount of money for these kids. The event will be on top, will be up to about 48 hours. It depends on how fast teams clear the tier. If they clear really fast, it would be kind of silly for us to have trying to count the 111th person to clear it. But if it takes a while, we can't really go past 48 hours. So we'll see how it works out. This is the first time that we've tried something like that. We'll start as soon as the patch is released, and it will include commentary from a ton of really skilled raiders and friends from the Final Fantasy XIV community, as well as little MogTalk mini segments, I suppose, where we'll talk about the raid music. We'll bring some people in to do that. A lore discussion. Ethis is one of the commentators, and he'll, of course, be a part of that. We'll also be doing fight discussions every time that we can kind of pinpoint all the mechanics for a fight. Just go ahead and discuss it fully on the stream while covering the race. Soon I will be reaching out to all the teams that will be streaming and see if they will allow us to restream their content for the event. So please follow MogTalk tweets or my tweet, which is Frosty TV, or my Twitter, which is Frosty TV Stream. And then I'll put out more information there, and then I'll put out forms that people can send in information if they want to be a part of this. Or you could join the MogTalk Discord. We'll talk about it there too. That being said, we are also working again with FaZe Temperance to add a level of incentive. Anyone who signs up with them during the event to kind of have it, we have to do a lot of rules and regulations for it, but they're going to have an incentive in there that will be a monetary prize for the first people to clear E11 and E12S on stream. And there's a few things in there you need to focus on, so please join their Discord, which hopefully someone in chat can help provide. And there was something else. Hold on. Wait. Yeah, it is the first to clear on stream. So anyways, yeah. Sorry, again, I'm doing this one shot. I wish I could do this multiple times. You will find more information again with them directly. I do have a teaser video that I'll be playing after this, which is a video they have out there to promote it. Okay. So I went over a lot of this stuff, and this, of course, is on the Patreon video, and I do, every week, there's an incentive for people who put more money than they should into supporting MogTalk, where I will do a video personally thanking them. They may just want me to say their name, and I mean, that's up to them, whatever they want to do with their money, So this is what I'm going to go ahead and do. If you want to learn more about the World Race, the easiest way is through email, Discord, Twitter, however, whatever works for you. Whether you want to announce you're in the race, or if you just want to help us put on the event by maybe volunteering for something that we need you for, just reach out to me and we'll work something out. For the Patreon supporters, thank you very much for letting me use this video to help promote and support the World Race charity stream. All of you are wonderful and help add that extra incentive for me every week to kind of come in here and do MogTalk, and it does mean a lot. And this is an important event for me, so I'm glad you let me use some of your time here. But that being said, I want to go ahead and personally thank the ones that are on that super tier here, which is Dudas Antonio, who's been a longtime supporter of what I do, fantastic mod. Super Miyu, who runs the Teamcraft website and is an incredibly wonderful person, very skilled at what they do. There's Nimic also out there who runs Morning and has done a lot of stuff with Balance. And he's actually helping a part of what FaZe Temperance is doing. He's helping out with that as well. And then finally, but not least, we have Tag, who joined on, who has been watching the show and part of moderating and trying to help out with MogTalk a good bit. And also a lot of different things in the community, who's also been around and helping everyone kind of get together for projects. I know you were disappointed in last week's instrument I played, so I decided I would remedy that, and I would play the instrument you probably would rather hear. So I wrote this song personally for that, so give me just a second. if you guys want to sign up and support Patreon at all, please go to our Patreon page. That's where I'm putting a lot of my support. We might even, I don't know if we were going to continue with the Twitch stuff. We may go back to a lower tier in order for us to stream out to more services. We'll see. We'll see how that plays out in the future. With all that being said, thank you very much and enjoy this video for FaZe Temperus. And please sign up with them if you want a chance at earning any of those rewards in the World Race. Okay, bye.